then there's the 4 graphics in the Slack for our own, each one of us has a choice, okay, so when we go through, we pull that out, all right? This one's important, the team's most recent top 100, receiver, there's 5 slides in there, okay? So
Are you doing those slides, Cam?
Cam,
got those
your
right.
slides, I don't have time for it, but, so this one has to go before this one.
Correct.
Okay, so most recent, then that one, then the review.
Okay, dope.
Copy.
Yeah, and so what do you need from me? On the,
You're
Which
good
one
on
is
that
it?
side here, then, Drake, then there's a bunch of stuff in here that's like this Stephon Castle dunk.
Anson, where'd you send me the show sheets at? I'm gonna print for you.
I sent it to
Yeah, I'll
you.
probably just go tomorrow after my.
In Slack or on email?
I emailed it to you. Pistons,
Think I'm gonna cut it
what are you
10,
paying for Tobias?
10:30?
This is the Tobias graphic is in that Slack as well.
10:30,
From a couple of days ago, I'll resend it.
Okay.
That just put me in a good
And
mood.
then at the very end there, there's also graphics in the Slack there for the
Yeah, Jack
OSU
Campbell.
hoops, or
Yeah, Jack Campbell.
football roster, the LSU hoops
graphic?
roster.
Yeah,
Yes, I can.
yeah. So you know that, right? You heard Jack Campbell news?
Yes, I did. And then at the very end here, the Motown Sports Village, if we get a chance to get to that, that's also in there.
All right, which Tiger Shark video? I see 3 sharks by the boat.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Yeah, that's
That's Bomber's video.
that's Bomber.
It's
Oh,
nuts,
okay,
bro.
okay. All of these.
Low key nuts.
Okay, all right. Yeah, let me do this stuff. Okay. All right, that makes a little bit sense.
What did they extend him for? Do we have the contract?
It's just 4 years as of right now, no 5th year option. That's all I've read on. That's what Ian Rappaport just tweeted out.
59.
I don't know who each of these dudes are here.
Brian. Brian.
That's Wagner.
Brian. Jack Campbell got to be the.
Sure, what?
Jack got to be the.
Yeah.
lead.
Yeah.
That's fine.
What happened?
No, just keep it on the rails for us.
I got, no, we were talking lines anyway, so this is.
Gotcha.
Jack Campbell actually came out and posted something.
He did. Please screenshot that. Oh, to the Lions. Make sure Social Squad got that.
Yep.
All right. Hey, we got the news. Let's rock.
Let's go, baby.
We start right with that?
We can.
Definitely get the
Or
energy.
do we?
This is the thumbnail.
No, for shit.
We have another nail for just him, you say it. That's why I showed it to you.
I know, but like Jack Campbell signed like today. Shit.
Yeah, let's get
No,
another
no,
one.
I can try and make one.
I can do it.
You got it.
Yep,
Alright,
I can do it,
dope.
Anson, don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll get another one. So we're gonna start soon here. Oh shit, it is 2 o'clock. Hold up, hold up. Is it 2 on the dot now?
Yep,
Let's
just
rock.
now.
2. Look,
Thank you, Justin.
Let me get
I
this
will
started.
make you a new thumbnail.
Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards. Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan. Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
What's going on? Welcome to
I'm fired up.
the Braylon Edwards Show. You know what time it is, and I think I know why you're fired up, Kool-Aid. Welcome in everybody to the show. You know what time it is on Woodward Sports Network. Anson, how you feeling over there?
I'm pretty good. I got a rock.
Where?
Where'd you get this rock from?
I got a rock from Hawaii. There's some debate over rocks from Hawaii, I hear. But our guy, Brendan the Bomber, returned from Hawaii today. Good to have him back. And when my friends go on vacation, I ask for a rock. It's free. And then I put them in my plants.
So Anson's being very cryptic and funny right now. And the reason why is because when I went to Maui, is where Brendan was. He asked for a rock for myself, and I was going to bring him a rock home. However, as I say, what's up to the chat and welcome you guys into the show, I had the conversation in the kitchen. I was talking to my girl. She was talking to her daughter. I told her I was going to get a rock for my good buddy Anson. Miley said, you know what? You shouldn't bring that. It's bad luck. It'll be a curse.
Appropriating rocks.
Yeah, well, she said bad luck. It's a curse. You shouldn't bring it home. I said, well, God put this here for all of us. I can take a rock and pass it on. This is God's blessing. So it went back and forth, and I could see that my girl was getting a little tense in the eyes as I was talking to her daughter about God and the rock and the minerals and the curses and the different guys over there, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I left the rocks.
I got no rock. Long story short, I got no rock.
You got no rock. I should have snuck you one, but you know what I'm saying? I don't have to sneak in life, so I just left it there. What's going on, man? How's everybody feeling, man? Good news.
Big news.
Great
news.
Big news.
Kool-Aid, how you feeling over there, as well as Sweet Potato Cam?
Bro, I'm feeling fired up right now. You guys already know how I feel about them linebackers. I can't wait to talk about Jack Campbell, man, signing that extension. What up, though, B-Lad?
Hey, what's going on, chat? I'm pumped.
Fired up, man.
Let's go.
Hey, I'm pumped as well because we got our partners from Loom in studio today. You guys know
Shout out.
how much I love Loom, guys. So it's awesome to have them here in the new studio for the first time.
100%, man. We already were going to focus on the Lions start the show today. We're going to talk about, a couple different ideas, couple different concepts. As you see Bobby Wagner on here.
Who's the other guy?
It's an AI picture of me when I played for the Jets, but superimposed.
You look
with
so
Detroit
good
Lions.
in Honolulu blue.
It's a dope color.
Man.
Like, what's funny is, like, growing up, I never realized how cold the color scheme was because the team wasn't necessarily good. So you look past the color scheme. I never paid attention to it until I got in the league. I said, oh, man, them uniforms, they ain't bad. They aren't bad, but big news, Jack Campbell did sign his extension today. So is that what we're starting off the show?
I mean, how can we not, right?
Yeah,
how can we not?
Why is this a smart move for the Detroit Lions? They re-signed Jack Campbell, All-Pro last year, the best defensive player on the team to me last season. I'm not saying he's the best potential talent that may fall on the shoulders of Aiden Hutchinson, as you all think, but I think last year he was the defensive player for the Lions that showed up every single game. Every single game you saw him out there. You felt his presence, if you will. He's trended up in the right direction over the last couple of years, and he's gotten better and better and better and better enough to the point where they don't need Alex Anzalone or someone to hold his hand as he's calling plays and getting this thing rocking and rolling. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that the linebacking room in Detroit is the lightest of our position rooms. And I don't mean that by weight. I just mean that by depth and talent.
Facts.
Beyond the man we're talking about, the man in question, there are a lot of question marks around him. I mean, we're looking at one of our fan favorites in Rodrigo being a starter right now. So you have to lock in and make him happy, your main guy in the middle, your green dot wearer. So he's going to go into this season not only happy, but also fully understanding that he is the leader of this defense moving forward for hopefully a very distant future.
And I think once you have him locked in, it makes it easier to build around him as well as
Yep,
that
that
green
too.
dot.
Yep.
Look, he's on the books, he's locked up, he's taken care of, and like you said, he doesn't have to think much other than just go out there and smash mouth football. That's what Jack Campbell is. And I wonder where, when you see your green dot get taken care of like that, I do wonder what that does for guys like Jimmy Roeder. I do wonder what that does for guys like Malcolm Rodriguez, who's trying to get maybe his second or even third win in this NFL right now, but he knows he has a good opportunity with the Calvin Shepard. I agree 100% with you, Anton. I still believe it's very, very thin, but I am glad to see them take care of our guy, Jack Campbell.
They definitely are very, very thin. Let's pipe down with the Malcolm Rodriguez, talk about his next contract. I don't necessarily know if he needs another one here, but it is a light room, and that's why I had the individual that I had on that board right there, and Bobby Wagner. You talk about the green dot and who's wearing the green dot. Maybe Jack Campbell won't be wearing the green dot, but we will talk about that in a little bit. You look at his season and what Jack Campbell's done the last 2 years, he goes for the last 3 years, 95 tackles, 131, 176. He's gotten better every year, man, as he's understood how to play in Kelvin Shepard's and Aaron Glenn's defense, and he shows up. He shows up a lot for him, man. So I love the fact that, once again, We know what Sheila's going to do. We know what Dan's going to do, and we know what Brad Holmes is going to do. They're going to reward the players that they draft that live up to the deal, that live up to the contract. He has lived up to it in every sense of the word. He has been consistent. He has been a staple for this defense, and he's been the staple for this defense in the past 3 years. So, the money is real. Congratulations. He deserves this contract. Excited to see what step he takes this year, because as good as he was last year, he wasn't necessarily rewarded with it because the defense wasn't that good overall, and then they didn't make it to the playoff. What did he do in the offseason? I can't wait to see.
I love that you bring up his steps and whether he can take yet another one.
Yeah.
Because everybody in town was, this is a reach. This is a reach. You don't take a linebacker that early. But his first year, he kind of made everybody look right. He really struggled. He hit the ground here, and the lights were too bright. He even talked about it in his first season, and he didn't have a great first season. Then you just saw it in his second season. You saw the ceiling. But for him to go and jump as much as he did between year 1 to 2 and then year 2 to 3, I don't know how much bigger of a jump he can take with those kind of numbers you just mentioned. All he has to do is stay up there. Get a little bit of help, though, so that your entire offense isn't targeting you in that second level.
B-Lad, 100%. The step that he's taken over the last 2 years compared to the first year, like Anson brings up, is because the defensive line play has gotten better. Now, nowhere near where it needs to be. We're expecting this to be the year. We're expecting Tyleik Williams to take that jump. We're expecting Aleem McNeil to be back and to be a better version of himself. If you got the guys up front, if you got those guys taking on those double teams, you got those guys clogging up the middle, now a linebacker can do what? He can play one-on-one. He can chase down the play. He doesn't have to worry about taking on the block. He can actually just go and be active like a Fred Warner has been for the San Francisco 49ers.
Absolutely. And, as soon as Jack Campbell started to bloom, you saw the leadership role take over as well. Like, he is the leader of this defense. He is your kingpin. And I'm almost willing to bet he is probably top 3 highest paid linebackers in the league. So from what I'm reading, he extended to a 4-year deal, but no 5th-year option. So that usually means there's a lot of money up front, and he's completely deserving of it. This is not a position like you guys said, this is a position that we don't have a lot of depth in right now. But as long as you can keep guys like this, he's arguably the best linebacker in the league at the very moment right now. And the fact that we were able to lock him down, and the contract is still yet to come out, but you can tell he's excited, he wants to be here, and that's something that we really need. And that we'll touch on later once we get into our later segments about some of the rookies that we have. That kind of segues into my specific rookie that I targeted, but he's a leader, man, and I'm very, very, very excited that he's back and that we get to keep him long term.
Definitely excited to get him long term. I think one of the things when you're talking about the Jack Campbell extension, because he was extended, shout out to number 46. He's not the only 46 that I know. Shout out to Stan Edwards. You saw the jersey yesterday.
Yeah.
My dad did wear 46 with the Detroit Lions. Happy birthday once again. That was yesterday, but here we are. But with Jack Campbell, man, where was I at with the conversation? I got just talking about the birthday thing with my dad yesterday.
46 is distracting, bro.
No, but what it is it's the number. It's the contract. It's him playing linebacker, them categorizing all linebackers together. That's where the conversation was. They're not trying to pay him like an outside rush linebacker. They're not trying to pay him like a rush edge. Got to pay him like a linebacker. Got to pay him like a will linebacker. So it'll be interesting to see what the details are. But one thing about the Pistons, one thing about the Lions, they don't make deals until they know they can get the price point right for themselves. So be interested to see that.
Are they setting the scale again with this signing? They've done that quite a few times with their safeties and their running backs and wide receivers. I'm kind of curious where this one ranks with the rest of the league, but they just love their guys. We haven't seen any long-term deals past 3 years, 3 years or more for anybody that wasn't drafted by this team, and they continue to do that. So this guy's just in the same mold as the absolute game-changing picks ahead of him on the offensive side.
Here's a good question for you, B-Lad, as well as you, Anson. Does that bother you? I know who it doesn't bother, but I still ask that question. Does it bother you that the Lions like to only draft their guys, pay their guys, and then use everybody else like a filler? Hey, we'll get you for a year. We'll get you for a year. They're trying to continuously build the ideology behind their draft picks and just keep adding to that. Let me go away from you. B-Lad, does that bother you to a certain extent?
Not necessarily. And here's the reason why it doesn't really bother me that much is they're not trying to sell out for one ring. and they want a good brand of football over a long period of time. And all us Lions fans know we've had a lot of bad brands of football for a very long period of time. So the fact that we're able to see a consistent winning team, last year was kind of, up in the air as far as winning team goes, but everything that they've put in place is for the long term. And, if they were to get rid of one, trade some guys away and try to sell out and trade picks away and sell out for a Super Bowl, then sometimes that always doesn't really work out. The rebounds don't really happen as fast. So it doesn't really bother me necessarily as much on that aspect. There are some times that I wish they would kind of step away from that, and because we've seen like we were one or two pieces away from actually getting over that edge. But then again, I'm glad about what we have going on as far as our core goes, because growing up, the core was constantly changing. And now that we're here,
That's a good point.
Yeah, this is something that I like to see.
Chet, you better get him. You better get him. You've been crushing me for years for saying the same thing.
Get me, Chat.
They are not willing to sell out for one Super Bowl. And as we've seen, it's their guys or nobody else. You can come here for a year or two if you're not drafted by these guys, or if you're truly, truly, truly special. But otherwise, it's just about keeping the guys in-house that they spent major time evaluating before they ever got to the NFL. And this is just another case of it.
Yeah.
You can't be mad at this. You can't be mad at them not taking chances at guys that won't work out. When you have a guy in-house for 3 years and you watch him take the steps of growth that they have, a la, whether it's Gibbs or whether it's Hutch or whether it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, this guy is continuing in that exact same pattern. He gets his money.
And that's another thing, too. And touching back on not necessarily selling the house, but there were certain moments in time where this front office had the opportunity to get somebody for not that bad of a price to actually help out this team.
100%.
Stuff like that will bother me, 100%.
Yeah.
So don't get it twisted about, we're only focused on culture guys and guys that we like. Yeah, that's good to some extent, but at the same time, when there is like one major hole needed and there's many players out there that maybe won't cost as much to get to help out your team, that's where I get frustrated. But as far as, keeping guys like this is one of the guys that was like top priority for me to extend for sure, along with like Gibbs and, people like that.
I'm glad you brought that up. Highest paid off-ball linebackers in the league right now, Roquan Smith, number 2 at $20 million a year, and Fred Warner, who I mentioned, $21 million a year. He's going to fall somewhere in that in terms of highest paid off-ball. So he'll probably be to the tune of 22, 23, if you will, and he'll set the market, and then that market will change. Let me ask you this. We talked about another individual extending this offseason. We talked about another guy that's a bell cow for this team of sorts, Jahmyr Gibbs. The big question, is he getting the extension? Is it this offseason? Is it next year? Do you pick up the option? What happens now that Jack Campbell is extending? Because they only had a little bit of cash, if you will, $21 million to be exact. So what does that mean for Jahmyr Gibbs and his extension?
I mean, it puts all kinds of pressure, not only on the franchise, but people like us. I mean, now we have to talk about it, and this is uncomfortable because it's
Especially
a running
after
back.
Devon Achane just got paid too last week.
Yeah, all the things are adding up to where the spotlight is now on this extension. The problem is it's a running back in a league where pretty much every running back that signs after their first 4 or 5 year deal, they decline, period. I mean, Saquon, great example of when it works out in your favor, but we don't see a lot of that. For me, I'm not extending him before this season. I think you have to look at the amount of touches that you're going to give him, and you base it off of that. I don't think Jahmyr Gibbs wants to leave. Sure, he'll leverage the market to be able to get a better contract, but to me, franchise tag. That's what you do with this guy. And I know that that's going to hurt people because there's a lot of jerseys sold and people love Gibbs and he is super flashy, but this is a guy that might end up being a 1, possibly even a 2-year franchise tagged player.
Yeah, if you're just joining the show, Jack Campbell extended today with the Detroit Lions. Excited to hear that information. Excited to see what the future holds for Jack Campbell and the Detroit Lions. You about to say something?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead.
Kind of along the Jahmyr Gibbs thing.
I felt the energy.
I slightly disagree with Anson in a little bit of a way here
Ooh, talk
because
about it.
the running back market isn't getting any cheaper, and you still have Bijan that needs to get paid. We saw Achane's contract. And if you look at the Buffalo Bills, for example, they signed James Cook early. And that got him at a really good price, especially now when you see A-Chain get extended. So I think actually, I'm surprised that this wasn't Gibbs, to be honest with you. If they would have given Gibbs the bag today, I would have been less surprised. Would have been satisfied because I'm not a part of like the tag and trade or tag and move and like only get him for his first 4,000 carries because he's not that bell cow and he has an RB2 behind him and they're saving him in the longevity run like that. But I think there's no time to waste when you want to re-sign Gibbs because before you know it, Bijan's going to get that contract, and then Gibbs is going to look at it, or his agent's going to look at it and be like, all right, we're going to demand more than what Bijan gets because we think Gibbs is better. So that's just one thing that I was thinking about. I'm surprised that this wasn't Gibbs, but at the same time, very happy about it. But, yeah, sign him early. That's my big thing.
Chad, let me know what you think. Who should the Detroit Lions have signed today? Should they have signed Jack Campbell first like they did, or should they have signed Jahmyr Gibbs? You keep bringing up the bell cow situation as it relates to touches, not having a lot of touches, not wanting him to wear down. We talk about that on that show. Based on these facts and based on what you've seen last year out of Jahmyr Gibbs in some of those games where offensive line let you down, play calling let you down, weather let you down, et cetera, and him disappearing, what say you, about the Jahmyr Gibbs situation long term? Like, I'm starting to like what you're saying. I'm starting to listen a little bit more. Franchising versus does this move? That's how I want to phrase it. Does this move let you know that maybe that's what the Lions are thinking too?
I think that it does because I don't know if you can do a bunch of long-term
5-year
extensions
deals
in the same year. Now there's an advantage to it, B-Lad, if you do it where that they, he's a magician, Brad is, with the actual salary cap, the way that he front loads and back loads contracts. So maybe you can get some relief there. And yeah, if you end up franchising the guy, you can really get yourself into a sticky situation. But this is a guy that you have to look at him year by year by year. Because again, if you have some injuries on your own line, the guy kind of disappears aside from the passing game. I just think you have to play this one year by year and see how he holds up. Now, if he really goes out there and gets 325 touches and looks like he's the man still, then maybe you pull the trigger on that. But these guys just break down so quickly in this league, and the role that I see them envisioning for him this year, it's a lot of touches. It's a lot of wearing those tires. I like Pacheco, and I think he's going to be out there, but I don't think that he gets as much work as Monty even last year got, which was already down. And if this team is going to continue to control the clock and run the ball to be able to maintain leads and bury opponents, they're going to have to do that with Gibbs. It's not going to just be Pacheco in the late stages of a game. So I just have to play it by ear, and I think that these guys are thinking the same way.
Going back 60 seconds, I see what you did there. You said sticky, and we just know that Loon was in the building, so I see what you're doing. Kool-Aid, talk about how excited you are with the Jack Campbell move right now, and what do you see in terms of his future? Because he's gotten better each year with the Detroit Lions, and the Detroit Lions are like, this could be a season where that defense maybe helps him become the best version of himself.
That's where I'm hoping the secondary is something formidable, and at least the Detroit Lions plans and what we currently see or think right now. Because you're definitely right. I think that what's in front of them on the defensive line, they definitely got better. They went and they drafted and they added a little bit of help to that linebacker core. Though I agree with Anton from earlier, it is still, I believe, the thinnest unit on that squad. You want to see it get a little bit better. But Jack Campbell, I think the reason why you can say, you know what, we look around the room, we'll beef up these other units. I think it's because it is Jack Campbell. It's because of the unit that he continued to turn into. And as he was learning underneath Enzo, you could see that this guy was going to be next level. Now that he has that opportunity to be able to stand on that stage and be the actual green dot, it definitely makes me excited, man. I can't wait to see the details on the money, but I believe that this deal represents that Brad Holmes and Cole, they are honest. When they step to the podium, they tell you exactly what they're going to be about. It shouldn't make any hard feelings as much as we've seen with some of the older players that's like Enzo, Taylor Decker, and co. Because the Detroit Lions are doing exactly what they said that they would do. They would draft their guys. They said that they would be the right guys making all pros, guys making Pro Bowls, and guys worthy of the contracts. And to this point, they're signing guys, and I haven't really heard anybody say, you know what? No, don't give that guy the contract. Even though if in the beginning some of us might have had like some umbrage with picks here or there. And so for me personally, I'm excited because I think it shows the continuity and it's the right guys. You look all over now, and this core has young players locked in for a long time, and then you continue to look and you realize they still have the ability to go out there and lock down a Jahmyr Gibbs and be a major player for a long time. I do want a Super Bowl, but it does make me believe that this team is serious when they talk about having a good football team every single season for a long period of time.
Yeah, 1,000%, man. Don't think about, drafting your players, drafting your core, and making sure that these are the guys that you're protecting. These are the guys that you're paying, Ants, and these are the guys that, you want the identity to be about. Is those guys ball out, they're there. You see these guys. These are the guys Detroit. You draft Jack Campbell, he becomes All-Pro. You draft Aiden Hutchinson, he becomes All-Pro. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs. These are the guys that are walking around the locker room. These are the guys that know since the time that they've been here to the time now. Like, they know what this is. So when you bring guys in and you draft guys, and you have these guys as the mentors, these guys as the leaders, these guys, we're looking for leaders. That's been the last 2 years of the Detroit. Well, you don't have to look much further because everybody wonders, did the leadership walk out of the room with Dave Montgomery? Did the leadership walk out of the room with Taylor Decker? Did the leadership walk out of the room with Alex Anzalone? And the answer is no. We've said this before, and the reason why the answer is no is because those guys mentor these guys, and these guys are lion-born, lion-bred. Now they're all pro, and they're earning their chicken, as we say. So shout out to Brad Holmes and for these picks, because you guys remember way back when Jack Campbell was drafted, that was the infamous me getting up and walking off the set. I did not think at the time that a linebacker like Jack Campbell was the future. I thought he was the past. 6'5", 255 pounds, not necessarily mobile laterally, if you will, not necessarily able to cover certain tight ends of this game, if you will. Well, people can be wrong and people can come back. I like what he's been for the Detroit Lions.
Here's some running backs that recently got chicken in the last 10 years, and you'll be able to tell us whether you think they earned it or not. Ezekiel Elliott.
Yes.
His second contract?
No, but
okay.
But you didn't
Todd
say
Gurley.
But you didn't say
no,
which
no,
contract.
No, I'm talking
you talking about earn the second
I'm talking
contract?
about earning their chicken in their second contract.
Hell yeah.
You think that Ezekiel Elliott was good in his second contract?
But he earned the second contract.
No. What I'm saying okay, let me rephrase
Yeah,
it.
rephrase that.
After the second contract, when we look at it in arrears, how does it look? Ezekiel Elliott's second contract, not a good signing. Todd Gurley's second contract, not a good signing. Ramondre Stevenson's second contract, not a good signing. Now, someone that's still in the air, Chuba Hubbard, I think they overpaid there. I really did. I liked the James Cook example, but I owned him in a bunch of leagues, and he was ass in the second half.
Right.
Because he got too many touches.
Right.
Because he's not built to be a 300-plus touch back. Some other names, Kenneth Walker, on the road. Saquon, on the road after their rookie deals. Those are two guys that it worked out for. The Kyron Williams one, that one's still up for debate. This guy's right in that middle. I mean, he's one of the most dynamic top two running backs in the league, top three if you include Saquon. But he's smaller. So is he more towards what you're going to see out of James Cook in the next couple of years, or is he more towards what we saw out of Saquon the last couple of years? It's a risk, man. I saw a couple people in the chat saying, hey, let him finish it out, pay him one, pay maybe two franchise tags, and then you let him walk.
Okay. 2 franchises and let him walk. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a player, so I see it on the player side. Look, this kid's been nothing but electric. He's been nothing but dynamic for this team. And if you understand how to use him, one of the big things with those guys, when you look back, those guys had injuries. You look at Christian McCaffrey as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's on the top of this list.
100% he is. Throw that in there. Those guys had injuries, and they still got paid. So now when you're looking at it, it's questionable to pay guys like that have been injured. Jahmyr Gibbs right now, he doesn't have those injuries.
Now, my question for you is this. If you do it, do you get the opportunity to trade him the way that they traded Christian McCaffrey? Because that's why I saved that one.
I like that. Jahmyr has to do something special.
But at the same point, if you have him on a deal like that where it's longer, depends on what you sign him for, but it may or may not be more valuable to the team that's looking to acquire him in years 6 or 7 of his career. So a lot of question marks, but ultimately I think he does get the extension from this team.
That's another thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask, is there any number that you want them to or values you want them to stay around? When you're talking about
Jahmyr Gibbs? Way lower than what he's going to get.
So like what, 4 year, but 22 a year?
It's literally going to be the same thing you're paying Jack Campbell.
Yes.
It's going to be somewhere between 21.5 and 22. Saquon Barkley right now, highest paid running back in the league. He's 20.5 average annually. So you're paying Jahmyr 21.
Right.
You're paying Jack Campbell 22. So as of
now,
now,
like 4 year type.
This is what it is. I think you can do. You have to get creative. Because realistically, Jahmyr Gibbs deserves to get paid. He deserves an extension. He deserves to get paid, and he is the type of player you can do things around him for multiple years to come. You got to get funky with the contracts, more so along the lines of how they do quarterbacks. Remember, one of the big things is how they pay Geno Smith, how they pay some of these quarterbacks. Geno Smith, when he got his deal with the Seattle Seahawks, it was a 3-year deal. It was front-loaded. It was $120 million. It was front-loaded, etc. You can do something like that with Jahmyr Gibbs, where you're doing a 3-year deal, where you're front-loading it to where he gets a certain amount guaranteed, 38, 39, 40 guaranteed in the middle, and then you break it off the last 2 years and give yourself an option, and you give yourself a get-out-of-jail-free card year 3.
Yeah. I had a little question, too, just for Braylon. My bad, Ants, I was trying to signal. Just for you guys, what do you want to see? I know he's already a star, and I get that, but what do you want to see from a Jahmyr Gibbs? Because I know, Anson, you shuddered when you heard 4 years, 22 annually. What do you want to see from Jahmyr Gibbs? What's the growth? I know that you believe he deserves the chickens, but what growth do you want to see from him?
I want to see every game he has to be valuable. Like every game, like Jahmyr Gibbs legitimately has to go out there and do something. I mean, if it's to the tune of 95 rushing and receiving every game and a touchdown or 0.8 on the touchdown scale, like he's averaging right now 18, 19 touchdowns. Like realistically, like Jahmyr Gibbs has to have those games where he is effective in the beginning as well as the end. Some of these games that he had last year, when it gets to the fourth quarter, like he's nowhere to be found. Now, whether that's on I can't even think his name anymore, Johnny Moe, the offensive coordinator, whether that's on the offensive line, whether that's on Dan Campbell, we can't keep finding excuses. Like once you get paid like that, it's the same thing we say about Cade. It's the same thing we say about certain people. You have to show up. You have to earn that chicken every single game. So that's what I want to see from him. Jahmyr is now on the level where we're calling him the number 2 back in the league. Some people call him the number 1 back in the league. You can't disappear.
Offensive Player of the Year candidate.
Well,
that's what comes with that.
Go ahead, Anson.
Yeah, well, that's what I was just going to say. This is a guy that if you are putting him in this situation to be the centerpiece of your offense, which by all means, that's what we're all feeling, right? That's what they're putting out there.
Yeah, weapon.
So he has to do exactly what you're talking about. He has to be in the conversation for the Offensive Player of the Year, period. And it has to be
top
that
5 or
way.
top 3?
No, I mean it's top 5 is fine, but it's got to be in the conversation where it's a debate because he's easily putting. I mean, he's got to have 2,000 plus all-purpose yards at least, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, 25 is where that's what I want to pay a guy that's over $20 million in year 5, 6, 7 as a running back in today's NFL. You have to be putting up gaudy numbers. And listen, when you look at Saquon, what did they sign him for that first year out of there? $10, $12 million?
Yeah,
it's because he was in a terrible offense with a terrible offensive line, but you could still see it. I still would rather have Saquon coming off the Giants than Gibbs coming off of the Lions. Because you can give Saquon 375 touches, period.
You can.
I was going to say.
Eventually he will get hurt. And maybe that's
it's been a while since he's been hurt.
He was hurt last year. And he was hurt.
What did he miss last year?
Only year he wasn't hurt was the 2,000-yard year.
Oh, yeah, his first 2 years he had some issues, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Kind of circling back to your list that you had earlier about the second contracts, Anson. Those running backs that you listed, Todd Gurley, Ezekiel Elliott, Christian McCaffrey, those guys, as soon as they got into the league, they were automatically the bell cow. Now, I remember when Gibbs was drafted, fans were getting upset that we weren't seeing him on the field. I think Brad and Dan know kind of the strategy to save him from, getting beat up. Because as soon as Saquon was on the Giants, he was playing right away, getting – I don't know how many snaps he was getting off the top of my head, but he was carrying the ball a lot, and he was 100%. Taking these hits a lot. He got injured with the Giants.
Number 2 overall pick.
So I think the Lions in general have a different kind of approach with Gibbs. I don't think that he would have such a dramatic fall off after the second year, just based off of that alone. His first 2 years, he was constantly up in the top of rushing yards, but with half the carries that everybody else had, and that's another thing that is key because you see their first 4,000 snaps versus their last 4,000 snaps. There's a huge drop-off in the NFL when it comes to running backs, but I don't necessarily view him as a running back, more of like a offensive weapon in a way. Great way to end that.
Hey, no, 100%. No, it is a great way to end that. My apologies about that. But realistically, though, you make a valid point. You look at David Montgomery and how he was the bell cow in terms of short yardage and goal, in terms of the goal line, in terms of the physicality, in terms of the tumultuous things. Bring in him. Let him be the physical guy. Isaiah Pacheco may be a smaller guy, but he's the same. He runs hard. He runs violence. He does all. Yeah, it's okay. You laugh. I pass gas.
It wasn't even that. It was the look you gave me after it. The look you gave me after crushing me,
deal
bro.
with it. It's like, yeah, what's up? What's up? We here now. You know
That was
what
one
I'm
of those. Dang, I just crop dusted myself.
It wasn't like dang. It was like, hey man, here we are. You getting the show
It's
goes
there.
on. The show goes
I
on.
was waiting
there.
for Kool-Aid to take the camera off me so I can actually laugh.
I realized,
Oh,
wait,
goodness.
one shot.
Yeah, at the end of the day, my apologies, my bad. But realistically, that physicality decided
Man's
you're talking about,
man.
they're not gonna put him out there for that. And to your point, they're saving him from that maybe. Let's get into another topic. Still talking about the Detroit Lions and still talking about Jack Campbell. Who are some players that needed to be added to the Detroit Lions? And when
There's
I
still
mean
some
by
guys
that,
out there.
There's still some good free agents out there. Who do you want to add to this team that can help this team right away? We'll talk about that when we get back chat. Same thing for you. Who out of the free agents left do you want to add to the squad? Who do you want to
See
be on
those
this
super
team?
chats.
Who do you think can help the Detroit Lions? They've already got their free agents. They've already got their draft picks. Now it's time to get some of them older guys that can come in here and be the vets we need. But let's get a message in from Loom Cannabis, who happens to be in the building.
Yeah, that's right.
Shout out.
Our friends at Loom came to visit us. We got some cool stuff cooked up in the future, but right now, let us be your plug. They're all over the state of Michigan. It is Loom Dispensary, and we are saving you 30%. You see that QR code above my head, or if you go there in person, just say WSN30. You're getting 30% off your order. And if you're a first-time customer, they are hooking you up. In fact, they're going to hook you up your first 3 trips there. So go and check them out at loom.com, or just head on down the road, 12 and Woodward. Their Berkeley location, ask for them.
Art and Jake's 80 wall-to-wall TVs, no matter what location you go to. They just understand the business. They understand sports. They understand sports food. And they understand how to bring you in and keep you satisfied. Make sure you scan that QR code above my head. Check out the menus. Check out the locations. Check out what they have going on. Follow them at Art and Jake's on all socials and find a location nearest you today.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Don't miss all the Detroit Pistons coverage on Woodward Pistons on YouTube. Head over and subscribe now for in-depth Pistons coverage, player interviews, roundtables, and live watch parties. The bad boys of Detroit media are here. Woodward Sports. Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com. Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Don't miss all the Detroit Pistons coverage on Woodward Pistons on YouTube. Head over and subscribe now for in-depth Pistons coverage, player interviews, roundtables, and live watch parties. The bad boys of Detroit media are here. Woodward Sports. You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Pure Psychology is very soothing music. I almost forgot what I was about to do. But let's switch gears right now. Planet Fitness, home of the No Judgment Zone. Come on down. Nobody's judging you. We want you to work out here. We want you to enjoy the gym. It's squeaky clean, trainers on staff. And it's really just a good vibe, man. They understand that your fitness is essential, physical and mental. So that's why they want you to come out, man. Do it. It's legitimately 2,700 gyms around the country. So there's one near you. I guarantee it. 1,000%. Pull up to the gym, come on down, start, continue, or excel, but do it at Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
And listen, fitness is essential, but you gotta relax a little bit too. And well, they've been doing it for 15 years a certain way, and that's with All Day IPA. We're talking about Founders Brewing. We've partnered up with them with this amazing IPA that paces the IPA category with its citrusy, crisp, and refreshingly perfectly balanced taste. That 4.7% alcohol by volume, well, that's going to pace you throughout the day. So listen, next time you're watching a game or taking in some summer activities, make sure you're doing it with an all-day IPA from Founders, but make sure that you are doing it responsibly.
What's up, One Pride Nation? Jack Campbell here. I just want to let you guys know I signed my extension. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be here long term. Now it's time to go win a Super Bowl. Go Lions.
Oh,
So I'm talking about, and there it is. You heard from the latest extension, which is Jack Campbell with the Detroit Lions. Excited about this. Excited about that move. Sorry about that before the show. I mean, before the last segment. But here, where's the worst place that you can break wind at? Like, what's the worst break wind story that you have? Since I already in the studio, I'll give you mine. Mine is like in an Uber. I was in an Uber, but here's how the guy hit me though. I'm in an Uber. I'm in New York. I'm leaving the hotel to go to this event, and it was an Uber Black, company that was, doing the thing they paid for. It was a nice one. It was like a Mercedes, luxury, whole 9 yards, man. But we had just ate some sushi, the whole 9 yards. So broke wind. This is how the guy played me though. The guy like put the child lock windows on, like wouldn't let me let the window down. But then I didn't want to say anything to him because I'm like I don't want to talk to him about it. But then he locked the windows, so we were just in awkward silence, and it was pretty hot in that car.
Hey, he locks the windows.
Pretty hot.
Yeah,
He's got.
I wasn't even mad at him. That was some like petty stuff that I would do. So you know what? Good for him.
He's punishing himself.
He taught me a lesson that day.
He punished himself on that.
He
one.
punished me too.
Well, actually, we have movement coming up this weekend.
I can't believe it came this fast this year, man. Memorial Day in general, but yeah.
So
Shout out to Movement, a.k.a. Techno Fest.
That's right.
Used to be free.
Looks lit.
I'll leave with that.
now the tickets today?
Dem thieving at one
You
point.
there
it was
already?
called.
You got your ticket?
Not yet. I need to.
Stick, where you at? Come on,
Right?
man. Give us those credentials, man. Turn up, Stick.
Put a bottle in the water.
Hey, look, I'll write about it. I got an article on it.
So I used to get rooms at the Rensen during that weekend, and well, by Monday, you got a lot going through your system. Talking food, of course, and it's
stuff,
a
too.
bad mix for the elevator because it's a big building,
Elevator situation.
real big building. There was
It's a
really
long elevator
really
ride, too.
pretty. It is.
Yeah.
It's not a fast elevator. Really pretty Indian woman was in there,
Yeah.
and she covered her nose with her sari.
I was gonna.
There
say
was other people in there though, so she didn't know for sure it was me. I knew though.
I was gonna say something, but it's politically incorrect. How about we stop this conversation right now before it gets further off the rails?
The stuff that we got,
Yeah.
I believe, is fake news.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just tried to look it up on Twitter. I didn't see nothing.
You
It's
didn't
not
see
there.
any of that?
Nope.
No
Okay,
Von
cool.
Miller.
So we won't bring that. Any super chats, any conversation, any comments that you guys see you want to bring to the light before we jump into the free agent rookies that free agent players we want.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys crushed it in the first half hour, but we still need you to crush that like button some more. Got a big goal today, and you guys got us a third of the way there. A few super chats, of course, the like police breaking us in here. I believe we read that. Lions are building a long-term window, not just to win one Super Bowl, and no matter what the fans think, that's smart. Well, you guys told me I wasn't smart for saying that for the last few years, but I appreciate you, Mr. Like Police. Will I am with a $5 super chat. Out of the two that we should sign, Cam Jordan or Bobby Wagner? Who would help this defense truly take it more over the top? I think Bobby Wagner. More on that in a minute, my friend.
Somebody's stealing my thunder.
That's right. Michael Wary jumping in again. What do you guys think about the Cedric Wilson signing? He is 30 and has never been the guy, just a depth piece. It makes sense? Yes or no? And then Michael Wary again, doubling down. If the Lions got Bobby Wagner or Marshawn Lattimore, I think we'd be set for a Super Bowl run. They would add leadership and depth. Keep those super chats coming in, guys. But the Bobby Wagner, that's interesting.
The Bobby Wagner is interesting. I guess I'll go ahead and go first since people have teed me up so perfectly. You like what I did there, golf glove right there on the counter. Bobby Wagner would be the guy for me. Bobby Wagner would be the player for me. I remember being in Seattle when he was drafted in 2012. I know him. I have a rapport with him. But it ain't about me. It's about a guy that averages 155 tackles a year, 9 tackles for loss a year, 2.5 sacks a year. This is what he does daily. 14 years he's been in the NFL, and it hasn't stopped. You would think in year 13 it would slow down. You would think in year 13, all right, he'll slow down a little bit. No, he did the same thing last year. Last year's stats for Bobby Wagner, look it up one last time.
He looks really good in that Honolulu Blue 54.
162 tackles last year, 8 tackles for loss, 4 QB hits, and 4.5 sacks last year. This is what I was talking about when I talked about the green dot. It's not necessarily about wearing the green dot and leading the defense. It's about being the best player you can be. If Bobby Wagner came in here, he's been the green dot for 4 years, and he understands that. You're talking about learning from a guy. He's learned from Alex Anzalone over his 3 years in the NFL. Kudos to Alex Anzalone for all the things that they were able to work on, but he's never learned from a player like Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Bobby Wagner is one of the only players that have 100 on Madden 2 years in a row. When you watch him play the leadership, Bobby Wagner was that as a rookie. Like, I've never seen anybody that at least I've come in contact with, at least I've been on the same team, because I wasn't there Revis' rookie year. I was there his 3rd year. Bobby Wagner as a rookie, he was like this. He's still the same player. How he plays, how he comes downhill, how he puts guys in place. He plays the game. Remember I talked about Ed Reed and placing guys and watching the film and guys feeding off Ed and learning from Ed.
That's this guy.
Didn't matter if it was Ray Lewis learned from Ed Reed. Terrell Suggs learned from Ed Reed. Like, iron sharpens iron. And when you talk about Bobby Wagner, you're talking about iron that still works. You're not talking about a Von Miller type of iron where, Von's still a damn good player, but how many plays is he going to take off? How much is he going to be entered in the game? How can you depend on him in December, in January, in February? Because the goal is February, like Jack Campbell said. Bobby Wagner is this. We saw him 2 years ago. 2 years ago with number 1 seed, 15-2. And what happened? Bobby Wagner and the Washington Commies, as you like to call them, they came in here and they executed business. So I just think having a player like Bobby Wagner alongside of Jack Campbell, it's just not going to do Jack Campbell justice. It's going to help out Talik, who's in front. It's going to help out Aleem, who's in front. It's going to help out Aiden on the left. It's going to help out Derek Moore, who we'll get more into when we talk about rookie impacts. It's going to help everybody on that defense. He brings championship pedigree, but he brings a guy like Ray Lewis, like Mike Singletary, like Zach Thomas, like Brian Urlacher, like the best of the best. He just breathes and oozes football excellency. So for me, Bobby Wagner is the older veteran free agent player that's still out there that you can bring in. And we need linebackers.
I love it. You've been saying this name for a whole week or longer. I don't know if Spielman's going to give up the 54, but I wasn't totally in when you said that you'd give him the green dot over Campbell. And then we hear this information. But now that I think about it, to all of your points, imagine letting Campbell learn 1 year of him watching Bobby be the green dot and how he adapts to certain situations in certain games, in certain moments, fourth quarter versus first quarter. It does nothing but help this team in an immediate capacity, but also in the long-term effect that it has on these young players like you talked about. Now, honestly, my answer is the same, but I got to come up with somebody different. And
before you give your answer, what do you think about the Bobby Wagner situation? Because I know you got to get out of here in 15, 20 minutes or so. What do you think about the B-Wag situation?
Yeah, I don't think there's another player that fits better. You know what I mean? Like, this guy being in the room in general will help out the entire defense as a unit. Yeah. We saw him with the Legion of Boom. Obviously, it's where he was at his best, and that defense was ferocious. He has all that experience. He has all the plays, all the tackles that he made in the past, and that helps out everybody. Like you said, I couldn't think of anything better. You hit it right on the nose.
Just think about this, Anson. Just think about Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, with Bobby Wagner. You know how many conversations they can have about Cam and about Earl. Earl Thomas was electric when I played with him. Like, when I talk about, that sounded funny, but when I talk about watching a guy not necessarily knowing how good he was until you got there, Earl Thomas was amazing. Bobby Wagner was the one orchestrating those as a rookie. And now he gets to come in here and give some of that advice, give some of that to Keith Abney Jr., give some of that to Terry and Arnold, et cetera. Like, I'm
tired of
the Cam Jordan one is a good one, but, like,
yeah,
I think with Bobby is different.
It affects all other 10 guys on the field.
It'll affect your defensive coordinator.
100%.
Yeah.
You got an extra one on the field for you,
Yeah, there you go.
No doubt. Why don't you give us yours? Because I know you got a little time constraint. Who
Sure.
would you sign that's still out there?
Yeah. So I'm going to take a little more of a realistic approch here.
I appreciate that, man,
yeah.
because I got my cleats in the car, man. I'm still ready to play. You know what I'm saying? I've been in shapes. Oh, I thought you were going to say me.
There are a lot of edges out there that could definitely impact this team. And if you want to go down the Cam Jordan route, you know, he's more of like a QB threat. Jadeveon Clowney, same thing. But I'm going to go with a little different name, and that's A.J. Epinesa. So in Buffalo, he set the edge very well. And he was kind of one of those under-the-radar players that made impacts, but he wasn't kind of out there like making all those flashy plays. He's very, very good in the run game. And that's another thing. Maybe they can balance it out with Derek Moore on the opposite on the same side, kind of split reps. But in some different packages, you can put A.J. Epinesa in there because we struggled with the run game mighty heavily. Now, what I mean when he sets the edge, he wasn't making the plays, but he was enforcing them. He's pushing everything towards the middle. He was very good at the outside contain. He was battling a neck injury last year, I believe, and that's very scary. And I know, you know, the track record that we've had, you know, kind of taking a chance on a guy who proved himself. He was a second-round pick back in the COVID year, if I'm not mistaken, with Buffalo, and they were dealing with a bunch of injuries over there as well. But taking a chance on a guy like this could definitely impact the defense in a good way. And I know, too, that we're pretty short on safety and, you know, linebacker and some things like that. I know there's some good safety still available. But A.J. Epinesa, I feel like you can put him in here, helps with the run game immediately. That also complements with Aleem and Tyleek in the middle as well, because he's just going to funnel everything into the middle. That's what we saw him do at Buffalo. But that neck injury is pretty scary. But at the end of the day, they're saying that he's fully healthy, he's training, he's doing everything that he was doing in the past. So, and he's available. I would not be mad if we signed him at all.
And you know, you heard Brad Holmes in his conversation, Dan Campbell as well. One of the things that they're most important to them on the defensive side of the ball, can you set that edge? They drafted DBs on being able to set the edge. They brought in Damone Clark as well as Roger McCreary because of their ability to set the edge in the second team when they were with their team. So setting the edge is very important. So A.J. Epinesa, not necessarily a bad choice out of UB Live.
Absolutely.
And I mean, he's a Brad guy. He's injured. No, honestly, I think he'd be a great fit. He'd be a great fit.
Let me ask this. When does that stop?
This year. It actually stopped this year fully. He
Because
didn't
of how
draft
major-
it. He didn't draft a guy, and he didn't sign any guys. And that was one of the biggest things for me is they had these projects from the draft that were their second and third line. And we had to use those guys because we were so injured the last years. And the free agent, the veterans that we were signing, they were injured as well. And you're relying on these guys in your second and third line again. No big splash signings outside of our center this offseason, but all of those guys are largely healthy over their career and just veteran professionals. And I think that we also saw them follow the same line of drafting as well. For me, though, this is another guy that largely has been healthy, a guy that's been impactful. In fact, he was a top 40 PFF rank at his position last year, and he was top 5 in run support at his position last year. You guys know I'm worried about the cornerback room. This guy doesn't have a lot of size at 5'9", but I'm talking about Kenny Moore. Former Pro Bowler.
Okay.
A guy that is, again, fantastic in run defense. He's a bigger guy and just short, so he can step up and assist, again, in those short yardage plays. Just gives us some depth. Again, there's not really much out there. Marshawn Lattimore has some size and some other guys, but they're all on the wrong side of 30. This guy is also a little bit older, but he's still playing at a high level. I think he could be had pretty cheaply as well.
Yeah, shout out to the chat, man. I see you guys getting active. And shout out to Gordo, man. My man Gordo is everywhere, getting in the chat, getting you guys active, and keeping that conversation up. See Crazy Clown in there throwing the hands up as always. Freddie Felt. And then we got Michael Query in there asking for you to smash the like as well as answer. Definitely, but those are some good picks, man. Anson, not Anson, Kool-Aid, did you have a player that you want to bring on board that you think, hey, look, man, I know this guy may be a little long in the tooth, but I think if you bring him in, he can definitely help out the squad.
I wonder if the edge question has been answered, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say about Derek Moore today, because I believe he's the only way that you really kind of block one of these types of signings, because you don't want one of these players to block more than just his potential if you think he can get there. And for me, Joey Bosa, when you look at the numbers across the board and his impact, depending on the numbers, he's a guy to me who instantly steps in. He would be probably your most bona fide, most proven edge rusher opposite of Aiden Hutchinson day one. Yeah. And every time guys like Christian McCaffrey or Joey Bosa, I think the nail is in the coffin, their careers, they're just on the downside. That's when you look and you see these guys pop up and say, not so fast, my friend. And you look at last year's stats, and he did that across the board from not just like the sack totals, but also getting after as it relates to forced fumbles, stuff yards, and things like that you want to see out of your defensive linemen. Not just, see quarterback, get quarterback, but the versatility on that defensive line at an elite level still. You look at bringing in DJ Wanham, and obviously we know if you want to compare what he was to Joey Bosa, you get a little bit more meat on the bone with Joey Bosa, though I'm okay with the fact that they went and they beefed up that side of the line through free agency in the draft. So, to me, if you believe he can come in and, like you said, help as well with DJ Moore and not necessarily block a DJ Moore in totality, that's somebody I would like to see.
Fourth largest Italian-American population in the country here, especially largely in Macomb County. So I think Bosa jerseys would sell, bro.
Let's go.
Yeah, they definitely would, man.
What's that contract?
Shout out to my boy Dario with cars and cigars.
Yeah,
it's a great event.
Dario's
Talking about the Italian community. I always get torn with Joey Bosa. Last year to start the season, I said that he would be a good addition. Lions didn't necessarily make that move. The Buffalo Bills did. But when I watched those Buffalo Bills games, because they forced them down your throat, you're watching the Bills all the time. Here they are on Prime. Here they are on.
Learn me something, Bray.
All the time. They want to make sure you see Josh Allen. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. So I watched him a lot last year. He definitely has stats, but Joey's always been a selfish individual in terms of how he plays the game. He's not necessarily what's best for the defense, what's best for the scheme, what's best for this drive. It's what's best for Joey Bosa in that moment and in that play. Same thing got Chase Young is why we didn't bring him in, if you remember, a couple years ago. So for all the stats, there's also a lot of plays where you see him out of position, in the wrong spot, leaving guys out to dry. And I just don't know if that's what Brad Holmes, I don't know if that's what Dan Campbell and Kelvin Shepard are trying to portray out of their young guys. I don't know if that's what they want Derek Moore to learn. So I like Joey Bosa. I like the stats. But it's the other things, too, because if he's in there and he's making plays, you're going to watch him, and some of that stuff doesn't necessarily check out. I think San Fran is the place projected to get him, a little reuniting with his brothers.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be
Can we get all four of the guys we mentioned?
Yeah, let's go.
I was going to say as well, is that probably why they favored a veteran like a DJ Wanham, because of what you think you could bring a veteran presence in that locker room, things on the field as it relates to what you're saying, having more of the players back?
I think what the Lions do too, and this is this is just me. This is me from outside looking in. A lot of times they don't go after guys that were superstars in places, or superstars in college, or superstars in the NFL already, and now those guys a lot of times come in with their own stuff. They have their own personalities. They do their own thing. No matter what you're building, they're still going to run it that way because that's all they've known, that's all they've done, and that's how they've been successful. A lot of times Lions go with guys that buy in players, guys like DJ Wanham, guys that are going to buy in to what you're selling, as opposed to, I appreciate it, but I'm good. I'm going to do my own thing. So I think that's what you see out of a Joey Bosa, but that's this direction opposite of where Brad is going, opposite of where Dan Campbell is trying to infuse his team. I mean, how many like former Pro Bowlers have the Lions signed in the last 5 years? How many former All-Pros? How many former top 5 overall draft picks? How many top 10 draft picks have they brought into this squad? Don't worry, I'll wait. There's a reason behind that. It's easier to get certain players to buy in, and it's no disrespect to those players, but look, I want to be here. I want to do my thing. I don't know about being the number 2 pick overall. I don't know about having $100 million in the bank. Like Joey Bosa is a guy that made a lot of bank, so I think that's when you get certain players that Brad will go after.
And Wanham is a incredibly versatile guy. He's not super talented at one thing, but he can do a lot of different things. He's going to be a perfect complement to Moore and Hutch. The Corn and Blue Boys. There's something there. I don't know. It's not that, but, man, having these two guys,
Ohio State, Michigan and Alabama.
Yeah, I think Derek Moore is going to be really good, and it's going to create some sort of a tandem nickname for the two boys in blue and Mays and all that stuff. It'll happen. It'll happen at some point.
Do you guys want to take a quick commercial break, man, pay some bills, and get the chat involved a little bit more in the next segment? Because also we're still got something going on. Well, we also want to talk about who are going to be the most impactful rookies for the Detroit Lions, as well as the most impactful rookie to you around the NFL. The conversation doesn't just revolve around Detroit. We just happen to be here. So, quick commercial break. We'll come back.
Shout out to the chat.
They're getting it going right now. Let's go.
101.
We got them for that. Got them fired up, man.
That's right. Let's go, guys.
101 in the first hour.
Let's go 200.
Can we get 225?
I think we can. You heard the man, the
legend.
Can we get 225?
I never asked. Can we get 225 likes on the day where Jack Campbell has extended with the Detroit Lions, and we're talking
all NFL talk the whole first hour,
and we're going, and we're rolling. I didn't even. Did we have a basketball team or a baseball team or a hockey team?
I forgot.
There's definitely not a baseball team in this town.
They definitely don't want us to talk about that at all.
Here's a better question. Here's a better question for the Tigers. Take this one with you. What place are they going to finish in the division? Because it ain't first or second. Because it ain't first or second. Hey, I hear they're coming back, but what shape will we be in when they come back? But right now, let me tell you about Estates Title Agency. Whether you're buying a home or refinancing a home, Estates Agency can make the closing process simple and convenient. And that's what they're all about. They're about the simplicity. They're about the convenience. My guy Nabi Sahad, who will be here next Wednesday in studio, we'll have a chance to talk to him for a second, see how the business is going. We'll talk some Tigers, talk some Lions as well. They've probably served Michigan since 2003. That means they got the experience. That means they know what the hell they're doing. You mix that with the expertise of Nabi, check that out. You can guide any title or escrow transaction to a smooth landing. Now, the craziest thing is they do weekend appointments. Yeah, they do. They do late night appointments. Yeah, they do. And they'll pull up on you to get the contract signed. That's how dedicated they are to making the process simple for you. For all your title needs, call Mr. Deeds.
Attention, devoted Tigers fans.
You're talking to me right now.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month, but fortunately, we have partnered with our friends at Pure Psych. So if the Tigers have you melting down this spring,
you see it.
Reach out. You can find them over at PurePsychMI.com. They got locations all over Michigan as well as northern Ohio. These guys put together a plan just for you. It's just for you. It's not the cookie cutter stuff. So reach out to these guys if you're suffering from PTSD, anxiety, you just want to get the ball rolling with your Tigers therapy. Shout out. Find them at PurePsychMI.com.
Woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at Woodwardsports.com.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Going ahead, get a jump on this information by scanning that QR code above my head. Then you got to go and check out the Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. It is the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest. They carry top-tier brands like Infinity and Osaki. We got the black one on the screen right over there. And I'm telling you, it's relaxation on a whole nother level. And you too can go and check it out. With Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews at The Wellness Doc. Be sure to book your visit today at massagechairhouse.com or simply scan the QR code on the screen. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
And those mid-afternoon coffees are a thing of the past for me because I upgraded my game with Thrive Energy pouches. Check it out, y'all. This ain't your daddy's dip. It's tobacco-free, nicotine-free, mental powerhouse, packing 300 mgs of smart caffeine. No jitters, zero bloating. Thrive Energy pouches can be found online at dipstop.com. Remember to use that promo code WSN for 15% off your entire order. Found exclusively at all Market Fresh and Market Square locations. Thrive Clean Energy. They flip and work, y'all.
One of our favorite ad reads.
They flip and work. And we are back. Welcome to the second hour of the show. First hour of the show was Cooking with Grease, and that is largely in part because the chat
Grease
has been
or gas?
Chat has been on fire. You know what? I'm gonna read.
All natural.
Oh, natural.
Before we went to the break, we talked about what rookie was gonna have the best impact. Will.i.am. I think Blake Miller for real. Where we go? Mike Weary. He's giving some information about BDE moving to crunch time at noon. Guys, don't do it. Let me see what else we have. Blake Miller, Will.i.am, once again. Blake Miller is Will.i.am's guy, 1,000%. The chat is gassed today, right, Bray? That's what I was trying to get to. Nitty gritty. I appreciate that 1,000%. Dante 151. This must be in response to what place did the Tigers finish in the division? Dead effing last. I tend to agree with you on that. What is it? You guys got some good stuff in the chat. I'm gonna leave that alone. Leave it to you. But getting back to you, see anything in there you want to read? Any super chats or any comments that struck you?
Well, the chat struck me with crushing that
101 in the first hour.
Yeah, I need you guys to keep that up. That's amazing. Get the super chats in, but what I really liked was them talking about the rookies that they see impacting this team most.
Yeah, 1,000%. The rookies impacting the team most. A lot of Blake Millers in the chat. Obviously, the offensive line last year was not good in terms of how they graded out, how they played, and how they left certain things left on the table for the Lions offense last year. Blake Miller's a really good one. I'll start it off, and I think we even have a video for the individual that I want to talk about, and that is that's nothing for I'm tongue-tied today.
Where did he go to school?
You know what? You know the school, according to Charles Woodson. There it is.
You know, going into it, it's probably really exciting to play against him. Well, play with him.
Yeah.
Just the history that he left and the touch that he left on Michigan, and how much people there love him. And then even myself, just watching him and all the things that I learned from even just watching him and the knowledge that he even gave me since the time that, we talked or anything like that, how much he kind of like really impacted me a little bit. So just to be a part of, this defensive unit with him, I'm looking forward to learn a lot from him, grow with him, and also just dominate with him as well. So that's it, really.
Derek Moore is going to be the best impact for the Detroit Lions as it relates to the rookies. Drafted in the second round to be the co-side of Aiden Hutchinson and the one we've been clamoring for in terms of an edge rusher for the past 4 or 5 years at the Detroit Lions. I like everything about Derek Moore. Just like any other rookie, he's got work to do. He's got things that he can improve on, but the reason why I'm so high on him is he legitimately studied under Jesse Minter as well as Wink Martindale. So you talk about two guys that have done it at the highest level. Wink Martindale, defensive coordinator extraordinaire in the NFL, played for Coach Michigan last year. But I talked to Derek, and I talked to him, and he saw some things that were different about Jesse's Mentors defense, that were different about Mike McDonald, that were different about Wink Martindale, and he was able to find himself within all that. He was able to play, even though he felt like things could have been a little bit different. He stayed the course, he stayed relaxed, he stayed resilient, and he helped lead that defense last year, which became a better version of themselves towards the end of the season. Man, he is a guy, you talking about setting the edge. This guy can play the run, he can play the pass, he legitimately is an outside rush threat, he can power, bulldoze. We talked about Caden Proctor. Was the offensive guy the offensive lineman I wanted out of Alabama. Everybody saw the tape of him running right through Caden Proctor at the Senior Bowl. So when you look at Derek Moore, you look at who's coached him, what he's already been, and then watching Aiden already as a young guy when he was at Michigan coming into this team, I think he's going to be perfect prime for what this team is going to be in the direction that Kelvin Shepherd wanted to go in. And I'm also to the team. I like his story. I like whenever he talks. I listen to these things because I remember what it was to come into the league and what it was to see certain individuals. Based on how they move, based on what they talk about, you can understand where their career was going. He talks about playing football. He talks about his why, which is his mother, in terms of moving his mother out of Baltimore to Ann Arbor. And now they don't have to move that far. She's now moving. She ain't moving out of the house. She's not even leaving her house. Like, he is dedicated to this craft. He's dedicated to this game. And I just remember what it was like to see younger guys come into this league and then have a mentor that was at a certain level. Like, I watched Sean Green, Iowa Hawkeye, come into the New York Jets and follow LaDainian Tomlinson every single place he went, following him like a shadow, asking him questions like a shadow. And they didn't even have a report. They built a report. I remember all the young DBs that we drafted for the Jets. Who were they following? They were right up under number 24, Darrell Reeves. So to have a guy that you already have that relationship with, that you already can bounce ideas off of, that they're already in conversations to do, I just think this was the pick for the Detroit Lions. And I don't say that because he was the University of Michigan. I say that because all of the things that tie into it, I like this pick a lot. I'm telling you, like, boy, he was up under David Ojabo and Aiden Hutchinson, and now he's the leader of the team, and now he's here. So for me, after talking to him, after watching some film, after seeing the things that he can do, and looking at the first half of last year's film at Michigan, and looking to the second half of last year's film, he's primed to have a really good rookie year, man. I think he will be your guy full time by game 3, and look for him to have 10 sacks this year, if not more.
Man, we might need to do another.
Yeah, go ahead and run it.
We might need to.
You know what time it is. I would.
I see smoke coming from Anson's ear right now.
No, but realistically, with the
not the full thing, Cam.
You know what? I appreciate that. That is fair. Not the full thing, Cam. Play it again. 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 Okay, we're done. But realistically, I love the Blake Miller pick. I love the Keith Abney pick. I like the Blake Miller pick. I love the Keith Abney pick. But there's something about this pick. It's something about Derek Moore that I think is going to be special. It's not only you've been clamoring for this guy, you want this guy. He's coming with a chip on his shoulder.
Well, and he's also going to be filling a position that is badly needed and can put a bunch of numbers up from.
Yeah.
Blake Miller, in my opinion, actually needs to have a bigger impact on this team.
Agreed.
Because that offensive line has to get back to the way that they used to play. They need to be able to just take defenses out of the game because they own the rock, right? However, where Derek Moore is situated, he's going to eat. He's going to eat. And this is a defense that badly needs that bookend and the defensive line. And I just really think the things that you've shared with me after you got a chance to spend some time with him a week or two ago, the things that you see on film. Listen, I hate to take my hat off to it, but you guys in Ann Arbor have a hell of a PR class because there's not one athlete that comes out of that town that doesn't know how to give a great interview. And this guy seems like the full package. He's got a big brother that he's played under. He's going to be back under his wing again. Everything's lined up for him to succeed. And even if he has less of an impact than Blake Miller has, he's still going to put up numbers that will have an even larger impact to an already somewhat, not somewhat, they're less than average, this defense currently. And what I think that they're building, what they're bringing in from this offseason, add a Derek Moore too. Now you're talking about maybe getting back to that top 12, top 10 defense that we fantasized about at the beginning of last year.
One of the big things, too, about having, like, great defensive players, man, like, Chat, like, realistically, when you have played in a system that works, when you've played in a system where you can see, if I do my assignment, The assignment next to me is done. The assignment next to me is done. The assignment next to me is done. We can have success. We can actually be dominant. Yep. That's what they learned in Michigan. This isn't about Michigan. This is just what they did while he was here and what he was a part of. They knew what it was. Hey, you're here, I'm here, we're doing this, we're doing that. It's not a guy that, like, I remember watching Jadeveon Clowney when he came out of college. It was him in South Carolina, nobody else. He was on the field doing whatever the hell he wanted to do. He didn't know what it was like to be on a squad, to be on a team, to play within a system, and to say, you know what, maybe on this play, maybe I help you out. Maybe I pull your guy down so that that's what you'll get out of Derek Moore, is understanding every piece in the cog is important. He is a Detroit guy through and through, a Dan Campbell guy. So excited. That's where I'm at with it. I think Derek Moore is going to be the one that has the breakout season as a rookie this year.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll play the Blake Miller tune, but I really think that at the end of the year, what Derek Moore will mean to the I don't want to say resurgence, because it's Blake Miller that needs to bring the resurgence to that offensive line.
Is it fair to say my impact player is Derek Moore? However, I think everybody's hope is that Blake Miller is the right tackle. That Blake Miller has the best season.
If that happens, two of your positions are better, right?
1,000%.
Because now you got Panay on the left and him on the right.
Yeah.
But I think with Derek Moore, at the end of the season, because of his skill set, filling that massive void at that position that we've seen for the last few years, everyone's going to come away talking about this kid.
Yeah, 100%. So that's my impact from the rookie position in the NFL for the Detroit Lions. Where you at with it? Who's your guy?
That's him, man. Like I said, I would go Blake Miller. But at the end of the day, I think that when you're going to see these numbers, it's going to be all about what Derek Moore does. Creates actually a new defense. Not just helps revive that offensive line, but the new defense ends up being impacted by this guy, a position that we've never really had. I'm sure Kool-Aid probably going to make it unanimous here. Where are you at on this one, Kool-Aid?
Oh, yeah.
Not three in a row.
For me, you already know it is Go Blue, Derek Moore for me. But it does get me to kind of thinking, because when I saw earlier Derek Moore from you, it got me thinking about another player who I think a lot of people, when you hear his name, you're like, oh, that's right. But sometimes might not get as talked about as much as Derek Moore or Blake Miller, and that is Keith Abney.
Yes, sir.
You know, obviously we expect a lot out of Terrion Arnold this year, because I think he took some good strides. But what about Keith Abney and the opportunity for him to be able to go out there and kind of show what he has at a position, I think, of need for the Lions?
Yeah, 1,000%. Like, you know, that I love that pick. Like, I love that pick. I love the pick of Keith Abney Jr. You got him in the 5th round. Congratulations. That is a steal. That is an absolute steal. The way in which his ball skills in the league, how he plays the ball, you're going to see a lot out of him early. I feel like he wins the nickel job in camp. And I could even see a place where he's challenging from the starter job later on in the season if there are any indiscrepancies from your L1 or your R1. 1,000%, it could be Keith Abney Jr. that makes that claim. I love his ability. He's physical. He can tackle. You saw the skills. We talked about his hips, talked about his lower extremities as it relates to the the rollerblading championships and all that stuff. Lower level is strong, man. Like, one of the things we talk about, if you don't believe how important it is to be strong in that lower half, go look at Barry Sanders' highlight tape. Go look at that. Like, quads, calves, being able to play that way. That's dope out of him to be able to play that way. I like him a lot, and I think he can help this secondary, which really needed a player, really needed somebody. It's not all about just covering guys. Like, it's not just about being in position and covering guys and making tackles. Go make a play. Go get the interception. Go get the interception, man. Get the highlight reel. That's what I think Keith Abney will do. He will provide the offense with more opportunities because he's a ball hawk in every sense of the word.
Do you think that he sees enough field and enough playing time to be able to make that kind of an impact? Because it seems like there's a lot of guys that have his size and skill set in our secondary. We don't truly have beyond Terrion that stand-up outside corner. I think that Abney really has the skill set where he could ascend past some of these guys that we have and end up being the true number 3 corner out there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, obviously he and Roger McCray are going to be going toe-to-toe.
Yeah.
Roger McCray,
similar guys.
With the Houston Texans. I think he's a little more physical, if you will, Roger McCray. But just look at the division. The division goes 3 wide. Everybody's going 3 wide. Some people going 4 wide. You look at what Green Bay does. Green Bay has 4 or 5 wide receivers. They like to utilize that a lot with Tucker Kraft. You look at the Chicago Bears and what they did last year. Luther Burden, Roma Dunizé, DJ Moore. They replaced DJ Moore since. These guys like to go 3 and 4 wide, so he's going to be on that field. In the 6 games they have against the rivals, he'll be on the field majority of that time, 70% of that time, and then the other teams that you play. So I believe that because of where the NFL is, he'll see a lot of time in that. Okay. And then you'll get a feel for what he can be. Maybe he moves into L1 or R1, and then maybe one of those guys becomes your premier nickel.
I just want him to be the premier nickel in his rookie year. He's going to have to get past Roger to do that, though.
We'll see, but it is lined up there. But I like the pick of Keith Abney Jr. I've said that before when I broke it down in the old studio. You saw how excited I was to break his highlights down. I love the ball skill. Like he plays through the receiver to the quarterback, and that's a unique skill. When you can not have to worry about just the wide receiver, when you can focus on both, you do a lot of things. Sweet potato Cam.
Yes, sir.
Not your daddy's dip.
There
it is, 100%.
That's my favorite.
Out of the rookies, who excites you? Who's the guy that you like? You know what? I see something out of this kid, man.
You know, I had to switch it up. Derek Moore was originally my guy.
That's a good one, man.
Blake Miller, the obvious. I also really appreciate Abney as well. But in the spirit of B-Lad, I'm going to go with Jimmy Rolder.
Ooh,
interesting.
Wolverine. This gentleman led the Wolverines to 73 tackles last season. I feel like eventually he's going to be a mega stud on the run defense alongside Jack Campbell and hopefully with Bobby Wagner as well.
Ooh.
But I feel like this kid, I should say, he is dense. He is physical.
He is that.
Downhill defender. My man is doing work, but then he, like I mentioned a little bit ago, elite run defender who is a sure-handed tackler.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is exactly who we need to shore up that linebacking core.
Yeah, and the thing I like about Jimmy Roder, to your point, you said is sure-handed tacklers. There's different personnel and there are different schemes that you can run. So you legitimately can have him in there when you're talking running situations, third down short yards and goal, or third short yards just in general. You get a guy like there that can play in like he fills the hole, he fills the gap, he understands how to meet that gap with force. He understands how to meet that second level with force. So I do like that. He will be a special teams guy, 1,000%. But also, I see a lot of packages where he's in there to do some of those things that he did at Michigan, the success that he had last year in the running game for the Detroit Lions, who struggled a little bit in the run game last year, especially you see games like the Giants, like the Steelers. So I like that one as well. But still, we'll see.
Remember when people used to call each other dense?
That was a good pull.
I forgot about that word.
That was a good pull. We make it about the Lions, man. Let's expand. Are we expanding a little bit? What rookie you got?
The whole league?
Whole league.
Man.
The whole league. Chat, you guys too, get in on this. It's okay to talk about something other than Detroit Lions. What is a rookie that you believe is going to have a hell of an impact in the NFL this year? I got my guy. I'll go last, but I got my guy. Yeah, also, you might recognize the team when I use him. Shout out. J.E. But who are you looking at this year in the league to be an impact? Anson, you play the fantasy game. You love the rookie cards. You love the process. One thing about you, I understand. You love the whole process. You love to watch guys from sophomore, junior year in college, get to know them, see what they are, and then follow them their whole career. Who is the guy that you've had your eye on that you already know?
Listen, I'm going defense because my draft is in a week, and I know Stick is going to be watching for this. We don't need to talk about last season.
Okay.
Anyway, listen, Ruben Bain is going to impact Tampa Bay immediately. This is a team that we've been going back and forth about. I feel like they are the Detroit Lions of the South, right? You got a team that's been pacing the division for a couple of years.
Gritty. Former number one overall quarterback.
Number one overall quarterback, not on his original team.
Former players as head coaches now.
Last place schedule, all that kind of good stuff. So I don't think they were last place, but they've got a very beneficial schedule. Same with us. Listen, that team is paced by their defense, and they went out and got a guy that he might have the T-Rex arms, but he's a real man, and he will be a man from week one for that defense. I think that there's going to be people all over Detroit that were crying when he went that'll be talking about him all rookie year.
Ooh, Ruben Baines Jr., amazing kid out of the University of Miami Hurricanes.
Give me 2 weeks, and I'll get you my offense.
Okay, now 100%. Ruben Baines Jr. is a monster too. I like that too. I think he had He had the 2 foot-related injuries, which is why a lot of people kind of were hesitant on him, and that's why he maybe fell a little bit late. I think he's 24, soon to be 25 years old as well. I didn't care about any of that because the man can play. Like, he is a man out there. Kool-Aid, who you got, man? Who you been keeping your eyes on when you're not watching Cade Cunningham and the NBA? Who's one of the players that you've been looking at as it relates to impacting the league right now?
Sometimes it's players that I would have loved to see on the Lions as well, and I think someone who went to a pretty unique situation for the position he plays is Vega Ione. Out there protecting, and I think that they need this, but out there protecting Lamar Jackson and giving him an opportunity with that offensive line to create some running lanes, create some lanes for him to be able to go out there and extend plays and drives and such. So I think that he's going to be next level. It would be interesting to see if the Lions went his way. So I will keep an eye on him. But one player that is intriguing, and I hate that he's with the Catfish, especially the more and more that I hear, all the ball knowers talk about this pick, and it is the cornerback Dylan Thieneman from Oregon. When you talk about the pass catchers, when you talk about even Minnesota Vikings saying, hey, look, we want to get a quarterback out there that's done it before, I do believe that you need a safety out there that can not only ball hawk, but also can press up when you need them to be able to press up. And when you think about the types of plays that the Detroit Lions do, and the fact that if you get, Amon-Ra, or if you get J-Mo, or if you get Jahmyr Gibbs in space against that linebacker, what are your safeties capable of stepping down and making a play? So I think getting some youth, getting some energy, getting some pop like that from a player who can probably track if something's going along with J-Mo, or step in a little bit if you need some help with some of those plays that might, not necessarily deep balls, but just kind of underneath. That's a player who I'm looking at and I'm like, man, one of those kind of, is he a perfect scheme fit? Is he a perfect player fit at a position, a potential need for them? That's a rookie I'm looking at for sure.
Yeah,
Can I read a chat here?
definitely a cold one out of Oregon, man. Like the safety position, if you nail the safety position, man, you can get some quality work for a long time. That's what we're praying that our 2 stud safeties come back. Go ahead, Anson.
Duncan Stewart.
Duncan Stewart been in there a lot lately, man. Shout out.
He says, what a waste from a certain kid that ended up in New York with the Jets. He says 7-10. Who do you got on your list?
Oh, so you teeing me up again? See, I gotta start wearing more golf attire. Because I feel like today I'm wearing this golf attire. Everybody's just teeing me up for the 350-yard drive right down the middle of the fairway with about 70 left.
Shout out Duncan.
If you will, I appreciate that. Yeah, my guy is of the New York Jets, and he is the one that realistically, I was in New York at a draft party with the Jets, and when they called his name, I'm not going to lie, I was a little disappointed in my Jet Nation. I was a little bit disappointed in the Jet fans, the Jet faithful, who I love dearly, so don't take that too harsh. Kenyon Sadiq, tight end out of Oregon, like legitimate. You look at what the tight ends in the NFL that are coming in as rookies do. Now it is a lot easier to have success. The blanket that they provide for these quarterbacks, they use them a lot. Brock Bowers, Tyler Warren, Sam Laporta. These are just 3 tight ends in the last 3 years that had monster rookie years. Sam Laporta, check. And then if you want to say, well, Brock Bowers is amazing, his quarterback was Geno Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Mayer had a good rookie year. His quarterback was Geno Smith. Where'd Geno Smith go? That's right. Geno Smith is with the New York Jets. Geno Smith isn't throwing the ball down the field to Garrett Wilson, who is a dynamic wide receiver. He's not throwing the ball down the field to Adonai Mitchell, who will probably be number 2 or in that slot. He's not throwing the ball down the field to Omar Cooper, first-round draft pick of the New York Jets. He's not throwing the ball out the flat to Breece Hall. Well, maybe he will a little bit. He's going to throw the ball to Kenyon Sadiq so much. The tight ends that come in now, they ain't running 4.35. They ain't 6'4.5". They don't have the measurables like the 42-inch vertical that he had. You mix in what he has, his measurables, and what you've seen on film, it allows that safety blanket for Geno Smith to be that much more dynamic, that much more electric. And like I've always said about him, he creates mismatches on that you just can't see. So he is going to tear up the Patriots. He's going to tear up the Buffalo Bills, who still struggle with safety. And he's going to tear up the doggone, who else is in that division? I forget. The Dolphins. They suck this year. I'm looking at Kenyon Sadiq. He could be one of the ones. I remember when they first drafted Vernon Davis in the NFL. Vernon ran 4.3. Vernon was 6'4", but he played in San Francisco with Alex Smith. And before Jim Harbaugh, they didn't understand how to use him. Imagine Vernon Davis in this NFL with an offensive coordinator that knows how to use him. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenyon Sadiq, realistically. So I'm excited to see, not just because he's my Jets. It's because I think he's legitimately dope, and I think he's going to do some dope things. Just go back for me and look at the first-round tight ends in the years they had. Hell, I'll do you another one. Go back and look at Kyle Pitts' rookie year. And he didn't have a quarterback. His rookie year. So I think nowadays, with everything being the passing way is taking over, those tight ends do amazing as rookies. You can start fast. Sam Laporta, right here in Detroit.
Our Dynasty rookie draft is on June 2nd, and until June 3rd, Kenyon Sadiq sucks in my book.
Yeah, I like that, man. It's called a double talk right there. Look, we appreciate your input on that. We're going to take a quick commercial break, pay some of these bills, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the OKC Thunder and Spurs game last night. Also, I want to compare something to the NBA. I believe the NBA as it exists now, it's not my favorite version of it. Just like another category that I used to love when I was in the league and a little bit younger. But we'll talk about that when we get back. First, let's get you a message from...
Hey, let's hear from Water Hazard and Buddy.
You know what? I think it's somewhere in between my notes. We're excited about Water Hazard. To the bullpen from our friends at Founders Brewing. You've probably seen the bright blue drink. Yeah, that's the Water Hazard. Best I've ever had, iced or sliced with the lemon preferably. It's a vodka-based cocktail, 5% ABV. That's citrusy, refreshing, and gluten-free. It's also the very first canned vodka cocktail from Founders, who we rock with 15 years in the game, and now they're stepping it up. They're taking it to vodka in a can with the citrus, smooth taste. Summer's coming up. You want to get one of these from Founders, man. Get yourself a Water Hazard, but stay out of Water Hazard when you're on the golf course.
And pair that Water Hazard with some Buddy's Pizza. Come on, guys, you know the deal. 80 years in this city, the best pie in the country. We're talking Detroit-style deep dish. They got locations all around Metro Detroit, and we are going to save you 20% off. All you have to do is use that Woodward 20 code when you head on over to buddyspizza.com. You're going to save 20% off your next order, but you can also save up to $200 off of catering from Buddy's Pizza as well. So visit them again over at buddyspizza.com.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new face. New focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Look, I don't need to do this long read, man. You know what time it is. Black Rock Bar and Grill. If you guys want to do an event, the next time, in fact, that you got an event, reach out to BlackRock. You can go to blackrockrestaurants.com. Reach out to them, set it up. Which one do you want? Do you want Heartland, Novi, Ann Arbor, Davidson? Whatever you want, set it up, let them know, because the service is going to be great. The price point is going to be great. And then the time will be great, man. Whether it's a party, a bridal shower, a baby shower, it doesn't matter. Father's Day is coming up. How about you do the rest? How about you set it up for Father's Day? Go there. The price points are dope. The food is good, and it is home of the steak on the stone. Don't ever forget that. BlackRock, not just an experience, a Top Rock experience.
We are entering home buying season. That means you need to get the best lender on your side. And fortunately, we've partnered with our friends Chad and Chris over at Supreme Lending. These are the guys to call right now. If you're looking to refinance, purchase your first home, or upgrade, you need to give them a call now. They are going to get you on the road to the best borrowing profile possible. That means a really good interest rate. That means a 0% down payment program. And with us, all you got to do is mention Woodward Sports, and they're going to take up to $500 off your appraisal as well. So give Chad and Chris a call today at Supreme Lending.
And we back.
And we're back as the Detroit Tigers are in the 8th inning, and they are down 3-1. Dylan Dingler.
Bang.
With a home run. Tigers do have a man on third base right now. We'll keep you posted on that as the game nears the end. Who are probably the best 3 Tigers right now? Obviously, Max McGonigal, the rookie year that he's had, as well as Dylan Dinger just hit another home run. I think he's having a pretty good year.
Riley having a good year.
And then Riley's second in batting average, as you said, Sweet Potato Cam in the AL right now. Outside of that, there's a bunch of negative wars and a bunch of disappointing circumstances. Oh, the stinky? Is that the stinky face?
Oh, let me tell
That's
the
the
stinky
stinky
face,
face?
Show the people.
Yeah, they just
P.U., y'all.
You hit me with the fact that they're averaging two runs per game. I think that's just been the issue with the Tigers over the past 4 years of me, 4 or 5 years of me doing the show, is just the bats. Like at certain times the bats get hot, but as a whole, it's just been no bats. And then this offseason, you go out and you get the Iron Horse, Framber Valdez, hell of a signing. We appreciate the money spent, love the pick, but we did nothing about the bats. The bats is Gleyber Torres re-signing on his extent. I just wish we could get some bats. That's just a novice talking about baseball. A game I used to love.
I'm wondering what we have asked for more that the teams have just been like, no.
The edge rushers.
I was just gonna say that.
That was 4 years in the making.
That's what I'm saying. Like, which one? The bats, the edge rushers, or the second-year players for Cade? Hey, I'm wondering what the Red Wings are. Maybe our guy Justin or Cam can fill us in.
Red Wings is a star. Like I think that's what a true star. Like, yeah, somebody's going out there and getting you 60 points a year.
They got to get their Cade.
60 plus, like 80 plus points.
That's 100%. A true
Because
star.
DeBrincat I think had 80 points. We need like a 100-point getter.
There you go.
1,000%. Like big McDavid or an Austin Matthews type player.
But it feels like we've been asking for these things for a long time. Like, even though Cade's young, 5 years we've been saying, y'all got to go get somebody for him. And with the Tigers, it feels like we've been asking for years. When are you guys going to get at least 1 or 2 more bats? When are you going to do it? And, obviously it seems like they keep giving us the
we're good.
We're good. So what I was putting down.
Well, hopefully Chris Illich as well as Sky Harris figured out Tigers game still in progress. We'll see what happens with that. I was watching the game last night, okay? I was watching OKC, who ended up winning last night. They get their revenge on the San Antonio Spurs. A couple of people went out in that game. Jay Will, I know you're a little bit disappointed about that. J-Dub, excuse me. My apologies.
There's 2.
There's
2.
J-Dub is 2 on the team, as well as Dylan Harper got injured for the San Antonio Spurs.
Did he?
No, just the FanDuel situation. Watching that game last night, it reminded me about another category that I used to like and I don't, because it's soft, it's not the same, and that's rap. Like, I was talking to my brother about the Drake album that just came out. Well, the 3 Drake albums that came out, and they're all soft, they're all effeminate, and they're just a bunch of R&B, rap, love-making stuff. It's soft. It's not the rap that I grew up loving. It isn't even the original Drake. It's not the original Drake. I understand.
Even I was rolling around listening to BG, bro.
Exactly. I'm like, what is this? What is this soft Drake stuff? What is this Iceman? Like, he's legitimately whining about who did him wrong in 2024 and the frenzy. He got a whole song about LeBron James. Like, what it reminded me of? Basketball today. Every single, with the exception of 2 teams. One was playing last night and it wasn't OKC. with the exception of the Pistons and the Spurs, everybody in the league is soft.
That's
I'm
the truth,
tired of
bro.
watching this soft-ass basketball. Every single play.
Go on.
Every single play that SGA shot or attempted a shot last night, he fell on the ground. What the F is that? Is this the type of basketball that I got to watch? Like, that's why I'm praying when we beat the hell out of them. I'm praying the Spurs win this series. That's not basketball. The basketball players haven't always been as strong as football players or hockey players, but damn it, it used to be a little bit different. It is the softest shit I've ever seen. And now mix that with rap, oh my God, like I can't take it, man. The Iceman, that's only George Gervin, okay? Just like you said, Caleb Williams,
Stand up
the
for
hell
hours.
with the cat, the hell with Iceman. Listen here, Joe.
Catfish on ice.
Iceman was reserved for one person, and he grew up here in Detroit and went to King High School, Eastern at the time. That's
Anson
George
Loading.
Gervin.
Catfish
That game
on
was
ice.
horrible last night with the.
Listen, Bray.
It was like, gee, for the first time.
Look like a baby deer after every shot, bro.
He
Just
looks like
stumbling and falling.
He looks like a 6'7" JaVale McGee. Shacked in the food every play. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. I gotta calm down over here. Anson, when
Studio
you watch
almost
the game,
broke down. We had a 7.3 Richter scale in this
my
bitch.
apologies about that. Man.
It's
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
But you are a world-class athlete,
That was the
right?
sandwich I had earlier.
Well, listen, I hate the Spurs, and I don't want them to win, but 2 minutes into that game, J-Dub was gone. Yeah. And how the hell am I going to watch OKC without J-Dub and root for them? Yeah. You know, like, I enjoy watching Alex Caruso because he's so cerebral.
I like Caruso. He's a dog.
But beyond that, what the hell am I? And Hardenstein kind of cool too. But by the way, he did not pull his hair. Okay, his hair, his hand is out like this. Castle's got a ring around, and he just got it caught. He didn't pull his hair, guys. But I'll be honest with you, that was a hair pulling flop fest last night if I've ever seen one, man. Like. Yeah. He made Harden actually look upright.
He did. That's hard to do.
It is. And SGA, man, you just don't need to fall over on everything. No. Like, there's stuff where you're not even getting contact and you're falling over. And then was it Champagny that got or was it Harrison Barnes that got the foul? Didn't even touch anybody. Yeah. Didn't even touch anybody. So, you know.
He was in the league, by the way.
We brought it up yesterday that the only ethical team playing ethical hoops in the NBA is the Detroit Pistons. But you and I talked before the show. Watching that game last night, led by ethical Wemby. Wethical? I don't know. So whatever it is. That team, led by him with that killer instinct and not willing to just fall over because he's trying to get the ball in the bucket even after the whistle sounds. So that team, man, I'm not rooting for him.
Kool-Aid, the issue that I have with it is let's keep making it make sense with the Drake angle and the SGA angle. Who ironically from the same city, but that's neither here nor there. When you watch it, you know who's watching SGA and how he's manipulating the rules and how it's working for him and how he's back-to-back MVP and how he's now the champion. You know who's watching it? The younger brand of players coming up. The 12-year-olds, the 13-year-olds, the 14-year-olds, the kids in high school. They're learning how to play the same way. Why won't I play that way? The MVP.
Throw your head back.
The MVP plays that way.
Throw your head back.
The MVP plays that way.
Fall on the floor.
The champ plays that way. If I'm coming out as a rapper, why wouldn't I rap like Drake? He's getting all the streams.
I don't need a good voice.
He's getting all the cheese.
I have auto-tune.
Let me throw a little song on it. You know, let me rap a little bit. Let me sing. Let me talk about this. Like, let me do that. And this is the algorithm. This is the formula. I don't like that because it's gonna ruin the little bit of basketball that I do still like. The little bit of basketball I still love. Like, it's going to be completely gone. Thank you, James Harden. But, you know, you got your bag. I just worry about the kids that are watching that because they have no choice. Like, I remember being 12 years old. If I'm 12 years old and I'm watching the game, at 12 years old, I'm watching I'm watching Jerry Rice. Like, that's how the game's played. I feel like if I do that, I'm going to be all right. If I watch T.O., if I do that, I'm going to be okay. If you watch Chad Ochocinco, if I do that, I'm going to be okay. Like, you watch certain individuals now, it's like, yeah.
So both we can compare, they're both weak, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that rap has been corrupted?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. The NBA has been corrupted as well.
Oh, 100%.
Let's rewind it to Dylan Harper.
Yeah.
Coming out of the locker room, not stopped by Spurs officials, not stopped by an assistant coach, but stopped by a FanDuel employee and walked back into the locker room. My man looked real healthy walking out. In fact, I still haven't seen anything aside from minor hamstring injury. Yeah. He was walking fine on his way out. What the hell's up with that, Bray?
Yeah, well, we don't want y'all to come out here and be up 2-0. We don't want y'all to be 2-0. We need a 1-1. J-Dub's hurt.
That's right, man.
J-Dub's hurt. We got
corrupted like the industry, man.
Yeah, I don't want to be conspiracy answering, man, but there are a lot of things that make sense. And once you add certain things into the game, it goes a certain way.
NBE.
All that flopping and all
conspiracy
that stuff.
answering got me thinking out. They were like, they saw what the Spurs did to OKC. They were like, there's no way in hell we're giving the Pistons a chance to get to the finals. Can you imagine back-to-back series for OKC having to go through some of those ethical defensive teams are? Even though they get called for a lot of fouls, that's still an increase of plays that they're going to have to deal with where you're dealing with the Pistons' physicality over and over and over again after you go through the Spurs.
Did you just put OKC in the finals?
Potentially.
Did you just put them in the finals?
I had to come back with the potentially.
That's what the NBA does.
But that's what the NBA is going to do. If the Pistons aren't there.
On Saturday morning.
Kool-Aid's got the
Pistons
script.
aren't there.
Kool-Aid has
I'm
the
telling you,
script.
conspiracy Anson, you know what? You've got to me, brother.
Hold on.
Hey, let's talk about the Wilson ball. All right. Do you know that before the Wilson ball was introduced, that 9% of playoff matchups ended in a sweep? It's less than 1% since the Wilson ball came out.
Shout out to Anson with the Anson.
Watch out. There's
Conspiracy
a patent out there.
Anson, man.
Look at the Wilson ball patent. I dare you, Chad.
I wonder if we
All
have
right,
any
do this.
conspiracy Anson converts in the chat.
Sports Lies and Videotape. It's coming, baby.
Hey, you know what? That's a hell of a name, hell of a title. You threw that picture up there. We can't glaze or gloss over this picture.
Oh, yeah.
Throw that Stephen.
He's the one I think is going to be the difference maker. I told you I think
Oh,
Stephen
hey.
Castle
I'm
is the
telling
key.
you like this. I'm telling you like this. If ever
Look at SGA.
your teammate is looking like this, like SGA is looking at you, if it look like you know what, trade me. I can't play on the same team.
I can't look at him in
your teammate is never supposed to look like
gotta
that
zoom in on
about
his
you.
You're
face,
captain.
bro.
In any sport. Like that, just look at that. He's like, damn, you're gonna have to trade him. He's like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Like, no!
And then he knocked it down, man. Like the Spurs.
Look
This,
at him, dog.
this version of the Spurs is a fun team to watch. And it's when they took De'Aaron Fox off the court. I said at the beginning of the year, I've been talking about the Spurs. I like the Spurs. I just didn't know what they were going to completely be with De'Aaron Fox on the team. Because it just seems like he's not necessarily comfortable there. They don't know exactly if this is the move. With him without him in there, man, they're running and gunning.
Yeah.
They're D'ing up. They're playing a different brand of basketball. This is a fun team to watch, kind of.
That's the thing that I've been saying is with De'Aaron Fox, I'm not sure if they can keep him happy with that team. He's got a pretty big ego, but we've seen him really crush in
What
the
school did he go
playoffs
to?
with Sacramento. I'm not
Who
sure.
was his coach?
No idea.
Oh yeah, because John was Calipari. That's why it makes sense.
Yeah, so that's the long-term worry with this team if you're a Spurs fan is how does Fox fit long-term with you? And if he doesn't, how do you replace that scoring punch? But they hadn't needed it, but now without him and without Dylan Harper, you saw that that's a different team because beyond that 7-man rotation, they're not deep. Like Luke Cornett, you can put him in there and he'll get you some decent minutes, but beyond that, they're not a deep team. So I imagine Harp comes back once they're on their home court. It's going to be really interesting to see where and when Fox fits into this series.
Question for you, Kool-Aid, and actually too, we got some of that Trajan Presser stuff. Do you want to save that and talk about a little bit tomorrow,
We can save the clips for tomorrow, but I don't mind previewing anything.
Okay, cool.
Today.
Let me ask you this question. Watching the New York Knicks, watching how they've been in the playoff, especially watching how they came back in game 1, let's just assume that they win this series. Are you a little bit more on the side that it might be a decent finals and watching what the Knicks have been and then watching how OKC, the Spurs, the injuries, blah, blah, blah. Is it now potentially going to be a better finals for you? Because I feel like we thought that whoever came out of the East was going to get mopped by whoever comes out of West, assuming it was either one of these teams.
You know what? When you got those special players like Jalen Brunson has shown to be, that to me is what gives you the opportunity to have a special series, and he's proven it through these playoffs. Like, obviously, coming into the playoffs, you know the type of player he's known to be. But I wanted to know, how far could he lift these peasants? And you know what? He's lifted them beyond just some old maggoty bread for 3 old days, and they're able to actually get over the Panera bread right now. We're waiting to see if they're going to be elevated a little bit more. But right now, Jalen Brunson is proving, even though you see their team offensively playing a little bit better overall, it's still like Jalen Brunson going out there and smacking for 35 points and things of that nature on a consistent basis. So as long as you have him being able to figure out OKC's defense, which I do believe for a game or two, he's going to be able to do that. That alone makes this already a very interesting, potential Anson series. If it is the Knicks who move on.
It's just so funny watching when you watch, and I know you're ready to jump in. It's just so funny when you watch the Knicks.
He's ready.
If I would have told you that, hey, Cat had 13 points. Like, you say Cat had 13 points, then what is the result? That has to be an L, right? Not necessarily. Cat only had 13 points in game 1, but go ahead.
Don't ever insult Cat Williams
That's
like
why
that again.
That's why I said my bad.
We apologize, Cat.
You're right. Man, this is fair. This is fair.
Listen.
Man.
The Peasants got the best draw that they could have gotten because you get to switch Harden onto Brunson and make Brunson look like Ben Gordon. See what I did there? Because that's all that this guy is against the right team.
Yeah.
And OKC is the wrong team. So are the Spurs. The perimeter defense of those guys, Stephon Castle, take your pick out of everybody at OKC. I don't understand how he's going to get his three-point shot off. It's super similar to what you saw the Pistons do to that team in the regular season this year. Our perimeter defense and OKC's perimeter defense, and for that matter, San Antonio's perimeter defense are 3 of the top 5 units in the league. I don't see how the Knicks Peasants are going to be able to deal with that. Now, if this series were played with the Spalding basketball, it might go 5, all right? But as we saw last year with the Wilson basketball, we'll probably see 6-7 games. Honestly, like, you're talking about New York, the biggest market in sports. How the hell would you not at least have a game 6 back at MSG? And 7 games, man, there's just too much money in it. Watch some crazy bounces in that finals, boys.
And I will say this, this year they do, it's OG Anunoby as well. Like, he has some help this year.
Ethical hooper.
And that's what I'm like, oh, man, 20 points a game, strapping up on the defensive end. He likes to get a little gritty as well.
Bring him to
and
the
you look
stars.
at
imagine
their
him on the
starters are all
Pistons.
scoring over double
Knicks
figures.
would never do that.
No.
I love OG Anunoby.
Me too.
Yes.
Last year, he was a difference maker. That's all I talked about.
Perfect Detroit
100%.
Pistons, dog. Goodness.
Easy.
What a move.
Where are you with the orange and blue skies as it relates to the New York Knicks sweet potato camp and potentially either one of these Western Conference opponents?
Can't even watch that series. Can't even watch
It was nasty. It was terrible, Cam.
Nasty.
Yeah, I can't. Well, I can't even watch the Cavs Knicks. I'm rooting for the Spurs, though. I really do like the Spurs. That's a fun brand of basketball to watch, and I subscribe to it. It's also fun to watch Wemby do his thing and watch him grow and continue to ascend.
Who do the Peasants have a better chance against?
I'd say the Spurs.
Me too.
Yeah, I'd say the Spurs.
Me too.
1,000%. Has there been? When's the last time? Okay, let me not say it like that. Who's the player that when you turned on the game, you were just watching that player like Wemby? Because when I watch the games, like, I am legit following Wemby from this
92,
side
94
to
feet.
that side. Best way to say it. 94 feet, I'm watching like Wemby the whole entire time. When's the last player like that for you? Or name some other players like that. As the Detroit Tigers in the bottom of the ninth, tying run or at the plate with 2 outs.
I mean,
Oh.
Barry.
Like, you mean like non-Pistons? Like
Barry's
non-Detroit?
really the one guy that I can just like. I just was always, my eyes were always on him, even if he came off the field.
Yeah.
You know, I'm watching him on the sideline. Like,
a good
when
one.
you bringing him back in, man?
That's a damn good one. You took it to football. I'd say one of each.
One of each.
One of each.
All right, Datsuk.
Ooh,
the
magician.
Magic Man.
Magic Man.
Well, I mean, the guy was
Okay.
doing stuff
Mr.
like
Dangle.
every time he touched the puck, it was a highlight. You know.
Yeah.
Basketball.
That's a good one.
Basketball. I mean, it's the kid I talked about yesterday, Corey. I can't stop watching clips of him. But in terms of recently, man, like J-Dub, and I'm fascinated with the parallel between him being the West Conference Cade.
Yeah.
That's I see a lot of different similarities in their sports. In terms of baseball, man, I mean, Shohei's got to be the guy. Even though I don't enjoy watching him. You know, I'm not trying to go watch Dodgers baseball at this point.
Yeah, Shohei for sure now. I think before Shohei, for me, it probably would have been Barry or
Bonds?
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
the kid, too, for sure.
Yeah, Barry or Kid. Hockey.
The kid for real, though.
I used to love Jaromir Jagr, man.
Jagr?
I used to love, I don't know what it was. Like Jagr.
That name, bro. The name was
True,
sweet, too.
But he also was cold, man. Like, I like Jagr a lot.
When he was next to Lemieux, especially, bro, what a tandem.
Lemieux was a monster,
Yeah,
man. If
they
he didn't have the concussions, man, all those head trauma, could have even done more. Football for me was Deion, because he's like prime. Like you don't take your eyes off of him, because like he's legitimately going from covering to returning the punt to catching a pass, and he's doing it on each team. Yeah, that was it for me. Yeah.
He was my favorite as a kid, man. Even over Barry, I loved. So wear the bandana.
Basketball for me was Steph. I feel like
Okay.
Steph's the last one. Like I was watching Steph 94 feet. Like you're just waiting to see, and you don't have to wait long.
Did you see him here at Ford Field with Davidson?
I did in
I
2009
got to be at that game too,
Wisconsin.
Man.
They were
Kentucky or Kansas.
It's Kansas, and then Wisconsin played too. Because
I caught the Kansas game when they lost.
Yeah, it was fine.
Seeing him at that stadium, so young, like not knowing what he'd do, obviously in the NBA, but knowing that he'd have a legitimate shot at a real career, and then seeing what he developed into, I'm very blessed to see him at that.
You know who else? You know who else I saw in 2009 at Ford Field? I saw Michigan State get pummeled. At North Carolina.
I was going to talk about seeing Mehmet Okur at the USA
It was-
Invitational in 2002 before we drafted him at the Palace.
Yeah, they were down by like 30 at the half. I was just in the suite like, this is crazy. I wasn't cheering for them to be down by 30. I got friends on the team.
Listen, you look good in lavender, but not as good as you look in green.
I appreciate that. Kool-Aid, what you have?
Now, I got a couple players here. I do want to mention this poll real quick before I give mine. And it's which is the biggest need in Detroit sports? Pistons with getting K to co-star is leading the way with 48% over. Wings getting a number one star. That's 13%. The Tigers getting 1 to 2 bats, 15%. But people still want the Lions to get an edge. That's second place at 23%.
You left one out, bro. You left one out.
What up, though?
I love the Lions. Like Lions would dominate anything.
They really want the edge.
We could bring in Cam Jordan today and come in and have that same category.
Still
You're right about that.
It was like, we want Bosa too.
Yeah.
We want them both. Both of them.
What up, though? What I leave out?
I'm trying to vote for Kalamazoo getting the Trailblazers. It's not here.
Shout out. That would be interesting.
This isn't a shout out, but Detroit Tigers, they lose 3-1.
Shocker!
Swept again.
Weird.
So now
Dante said, boo this team.
Weird.
50 games in, the Tigers are not 30-20. They are 20.
Did you give me a number yesterday going back to last season of what their record over the last 100 games is?
Oh, yeah. Tigers in the last 100 games, I want to say was something like they were 40. They were 47 and 50. Whatever. 40.
No, I think it was 37 and
37 and 50.
63, yeah.
37 and 63.
Yeah, and now 36 and 64.
That's tough. Like, that's
Actually,
tough.
no, they lost last night,
14.
too. So 35 and 65 in their last 100.
And Tigers getting a bat right now it just moved into third place, 15% on our poll. I would have assumed that one would have been at least second place if you do believe that K getting a co-star is the number one priority.
I think the reason why it's like that is because people are out on the Tigers right now.
Oh,
damn, K
they just don't care anymore.
And I think they don't care anymore.
They
so
don't.
The thing they care about, Cade Cunningham,
You're right.
they just almost got to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Lions will always be number one. I think that's what it is. Like the Tigers, even though back-to-back playoffs, I think now you're starting to get to a situation where I don't think you really trusted them last year. You trusted Tarek Skubal. I think no one, with the exception of the guy that used to sit in that chair, according to him, trusted them 2 seasons ago when they made that change. And now you see the boom, the crash. It's like, well, we really didn't necessarily trust them.
I trusted them when they had Ty Cobb.
You're funny. You're a funny guy. I will tell you this, man. I am not that guy, but it does feel good not to hear Ty Cobb saying.
Steve-O, transition. Steve-O, baby, he says, hey, fellas, I got a catchphrase for, oh, wait, no. Where's the one? Stop that. Kool-Aid, I am done. I am done watching Detroit sports teams for the summer. I've had it. There's only one team this summer, Steve-O. I appreciate you, but you're not going on a limb with that one, man.
He said, please come back.
I know, right? Summer League, dog. You got some Summer League.
Summer League Pistons, man. I can't wait. And I'm putting in a credential request for the draft, too.
Are we closer to turning the corner for all 4 franchises? And it sounds crazy because I feel like we did. Are we closer to turning the corner for real or closer to going back the opposite direction?
We've been saying April in the D is going to be here for the last 2 years. So I think that is a more valid question, especially when you see the Red Wings who missed the playoffs again.
Wings.
Hey, and I'm not seeing too many people that confident about what they can be in terms of going and getting those needs met. And so it's going to be interesting. I think we are close, but I feel like we've been waiting for 2 years to have this April in the D and April and October celebration for our squads.
We've been in purgatory for, realistically, I think we're closer to turning it, although it doesn't feel that way. But let's be real. The thing that stirs the drink here is the Lions. Lions didn't make the playoffs last year. So when you ask that question, you're asking that question about one team didn't make the playoffs, another team that looks like they're not making the playoffs, another team that did not make the playoffs, and one team that did and got almost to where we thought they could. 6
playoff appearances in the last 3 years in this town.
That's much better than 4 or 5
years.
The
10 years before that.
100%.
Come on. I mean, we have turned the corner. Do we have a title for it yet? Not yet. No. I do believe the Red Wings are coming, but you're not divorcing yourselves from Stevie Y anytime soon. He'll hit the 10 mark before he gets put to pasture.
I believe that too.
Yeah, and then you look at the Lions, and listen, I know you all want him to go all in and get that guy that gives him the Super Bowl, but we're talking about winning football for 4 straight years. Hasn't been done since the 50s. And then you look at the Pistons, 15, 18 years of just absolute nothing. And now you're talking about them doing something they've only done 3 times in their history, looking at them being 1 player away from literally challenging for a championship. And then you can't take anything away from the Tigers. Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
The only thing I would say about the Detroit Lions, look, you guys have made me a fan over the last 5 years. I begrudgingly and pulling and kicking and screaming, but you made me a Lions fan. When they can consistently stay in the playoffs, stay in contention, that's when I will officially buy in. Because realistically, they were doing the thing and they didn't make the playoffs last year.
But they were in contention.
But hear me out. There's a second part of that. There's a second caveat. When we stop using the excuse of injuries, I will believe that everybody else truly believes.
Hey, as long as those injuries stop, we won't have to use it.
That's the go-to.
Yeah.
And I think that their offseason plan took that into account for the first time.
And Brad Holmes is very clear about that. And you heard the conversation. One of the things he kept beating the drum, all the players that he picked up in free agent with the exception of one, and then the players that he drafted, they were durable, they were dependable. I don't know how many times I heard Dan Campbell talk about Blake Miller not missing practice, not missing any games. The fact that they kept saying that realistically, I look at it as they may have had players, they may have had tackles, they may have had guards that they had ranked ahead of Blake Miller, but the fact that he did not miss games and he got better and better year to year, I think that's what ultimately tipped it in his favor.
Yeah. And listen, Chat did awesome today.
They did.
You about to talk to him? Or you got
I was just going to say,
go ahead.
Just real quick before we close up, some of those players that I used to just watch all over the field. I'll say some really quick and expand maybe 20 seconds on the other.
Throw the receivers up there.
Miggy, I was going to say Calvin was one. He was definitely one that I watched all over the field. And Cronwall.
300 yards.
I just wanted to see who is he about to blow up. But Shoelace was one for me. Whether he was on the sideline running up and down, shouting
at the college level, hell yeah.
Or on the field, college level Shoelace.
How about Trey Burke?
He was epic.
Around the same time for Michigan.
Yeah. Trey was another good one to watch.
That actually is the same year.
But Shoelace was one for me, man. Absolutely.
Hey, look. We got time to slide.
No. It's too good to rush
it. You sure?
It's way too good to rush it.
It's only a quick spot.
No, I'm not letting him do it. He found something really cool. He was doom scrolling.
We want him to expand on it.
No, we are expanding. We're taking our time with that good one. And we got to allow the chat a little bit of time. We got to allow them some time to get us over 150 because we're only 4 short.
Let's go.
You guys crushed it. The goal was 150. He's at the 225. We're going to get there soon. But everybody that's watching right now, please smash that like button and be ready to smash it again tomorrow.
But we appreciate you guys for joining the show, man. That is our show. The show does not start unless you guys are here. We appreciate you all the time. Keep it coming. Keep it going. Some things only going to get better and better and better. Shout out to the man, Jack Campbell, on the extension. Glad to have you. Now it's time to go out and get Hey, you know what? This is what we need. You got two guys that can contend for Defensive Player of the Year on the same team. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Iron sharpening iron.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Aiden, you ready for the challenge? Hey, Jack, you ready for the challenge? One of y'all brothers better come with that Defensive Player of the Year in the next couple of years. For Anson, Sweet Potato CAMPBELL, and my right hand, Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you Monday.
150. Thank you, Chat fam.
Thank
Let's
you guys.
rock.
Appreciate y'all.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.